the Poplar Street Bridge. That's due to a large sinkhole directly under 44 near the Dome. That has 70 East jammed between St. Louis Avenue and Tucker. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. Dents Express, STL.com. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
And in your KTRS First Alert forecast, sunny for the remainder of the day today with a high near 78. Mostly clear tonight with a low around 61. Increasing clouds and a chance of afternoon scattered showers tomorrow with a high near 80 and wind gusts up to 23 miles per hour. And a slight chance of an early evening shower tomorrow night, then partly cloudy with a low around 63. It's 76 degrees at 3:09. I'm David Solomon, KTRS News on the Talk of St. Louis.
What have we learned about Heidi?
But cockroaches were the least of her problems. Heidi had to fight for every opportunity.
You know, Heidi is, even though she's very kind of sweet and innocent,
Heidi wanted out of the slum, and her agent wasn't doing enough.
Oh my God, they moved Heidi right next to me now.
Although Heidi seems serene,
she's a bit naughty.
she uses an ancient folk remedy to help calm her down.
Heidi is back.
Happy Monday, everybody. It's a beautiful day. I mean, just
gorgeous,
stunning. Doesn't really feel like that St. Louis summer heat, but here we are in an air-conditioned studio. We're happy to have you guys with us. Heidi Glaus, Josh Gilbert, Bob Ramsey, and we've got a lot to get to. First up, we're going to check in with Jordan Kimler, who is a nurse practitioner with Premier U. Last time she was here, we were talking about an upcoming event about perimenopause and menopause. Well, that event has happened, and she'll kind of give us a recap and a couple of big reminders when it comes to our health. That's coming up at 3:30. We'll check in with Jordana Miller, who is in Jerusalem for ABC. Do we really have a deal between the United States and Iran? She'll tell us what she knows. In the 4 o'clock, Ryan Krull will join us. He's, of course, with St. Louis Magazine, and he's covering several stories. One about this crazy big sinkhole that just kind of opened up over the weekend. We'll also find out what's happening with the police board. They're finally going to hear from the public. That's coming up. And then, did you see this crazy, how much money that the city has taken in after they've kind of picked up the pace on enforcing the parking tickets and the late fees and everything? We'll talk about that if we get a chance. Then we'll also talk a little sports because, as you know, if you weren't under a rock, there was a lot going on in the sports world. Not only is the World Cup going on, but now we have a new NBA champion, Stanley Cup winner. So we'll go through all of that, see what else Brendan has to say about sports. We'll check in with ABC's former special agent in charge, FBI, find out what's going on with events when it comes to the World Cup and, of course, that match at the White House last night. Were there any incidents?
Match.
Well,
I don't even know what you'd call that.
Well, that's
UFC.
Bout. Is it bout?
Is it about?
Is it about?
I don't know.
Like a boxing bout?
I was not really paying attention. I saw a few things pop up on social media and saw like motorcycles flying over something.
Yeah, that was the Nitro Circus.
Circus. So anyway, we'll do that. And then in the 5 o'clock, we'll talk to former KTRS radio host, Bill Clevlen. And he's now written a new book, Presidential Road Trips, 100 Places to Explore and Experience the History of American Presidents. So we will talk to him about that, which I'm very excited about. As you guys know, we just got back from our trip along the interstates and highways, and there's so many places to stop and see. So I like having a little cheat sheet. Everybody have a good weekend?
Fabulous. I was a guest of a season ticket holder. Is it now the Hollywood Casino Amphitheater?
Yes.
Is that what's the official name? Mm-hmm. It's, for us old folks, Riverport still.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But
I think most people.
But I don't want
young folks too.
I don't want to disrespect them, though, because from pulling in off of 141 to driving home and everything in between was a 10. An absolute top notch. The show, of course, had a lot to do with that. Sammy Hagar was brilliant. And when artists get to a certain age, you never know if you're going to be at the show where it fades. Mm-hmm. And this wasn't it. It was terrific.
I love that he always kicks off his tours here in St. Louis.
And he said all the right things.
Yeah.
He knows how to get the crowd completely sold out, over 19,000. Mm-hmm. It was fantastic. If you ever get fortunate enough, fans, to...
Pretty night, too.
Oh, it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I was worried it was going to rain or whatever. No, it was a little humid, but it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever get a chance to watch a show in one of those boxes, that is the way to go.
Yeah.
100%. And they have it was new to me, an area there called the Backyard. Mm-hmm. Have you been through there? Oh, my goodness. Fabulous. So cool. You almost feel like you're backstage. And their food is really good. It's not, no offense to any venues in the market, it's not concessions crap.
Yeah.
Smoked half chickens and pulled pork sliders and grilled corn on the cob.
It's dinner and a show.
Oh, it's dinner and a show. It was really good, and all the beverages you could want brought to your seats. And
our friend Liz wants to hear your take on her honey, Rick Springfield. I didn't realize he was opening.
I did. I was sitting in the Backyard area
when he was on stage,
watch, but I listened, and he sounded great.
Yeah,
but I didn't go in for the show part.
Can I ask, what else does Rick Springfield have besides Jesse's Girl? Am I missing one?
He had a couple of albums. I don't think anything was as popular as Jesse's Girl.
Don't Talk to Strangers.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only other one that I know, which I like that song better than Jesse's Girl.
Oh, I like Jesse's Girl.
I have no opinion. I just know he sounded good.
Okay.
I spoke to a friend recently, and Rick Springfield lives down the street from her house.
Really?
Out in California.
Uh-oh, Liz is going to want to know the address.
I know.
I'm going to come visit.
But she was joking. She said, we see him walk by sometimes, and I want to go out and wash my car and just, like, blast the old record.
Come on.
That's funny. See if he walks by. I mean, Rick Springfield, at this point, 76 years old. Who would have guessed that?
Oh, he still looks pretty darn good.
I would not have guessed that.
And look, while you're the keyboard guy over there, look up Sammy Hagar's age. He's about 75, isn't he?
Believe it or not, I'll get you the
We've got a lot of songs coming in. Don't Talk to Strangers, Affair of the Heart, Love Somebody, Human Touch.
I'll play a couple of them just to see if I recognize them. Sammy
You're
Hagar.
probably not in the demographic.
Heidi, I'm an old soul.
Okay.
I just told you Don't Talk to Strangers was better than
Yeah,
Jesse's
I'm just
Girl.
maybe not kind of, you were probably a little young.
And he wasn't going out buying albums
right.
of Rick Springfield.
That's all I'm saying.
Sammy Hagar, 78.
78. I couldn't believe it. Tons of energy. Voice still there. The band was great.
Here's an interesting one. Somebody from the 314 says that Rick Springfield also sang I've Done Everything for You, which was actually written by Sammy Hagar.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
There's the connection.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great point.
Good synergy.
Yeah, very nice. And the band was fantastic. They did everything. You know, they had at different points they'd put on a Cardinals jersey, and Sammy, for those who don't know, has his own tequila line,
Cabo
and
Wabo.
he was pouring shots for the front row, and just it was. Here's one thing about him and his career. Not for everybody. I get it. Started out with Montrose in the 70s, some solo stuff. That's where I first saw him. Then Van Halen, then Chickenfoot, now on his own again, although this is really kind of a rock star band. Satriani on guitar. And the drummer's name, I apologize. Great drummer, escapes me. Anyway, it's kind of like a super group now, but they all play, and Sammy, his whole career, you get a sense of playing with joy, that like they're having fun, and
He just seems like a good guy.
and they want it to be a party and be an event, and I don't think a lot of bands kind of get that.
Right.
And so anyway, it was a good time.
He's not doing scissor kicks or anything, but he still looks like he's moving pretty great.
He's moving all over the stage. Really good.
I was stunned by this. And this is a did you know from way back when. I found out that David Lee Roth, walking skeleton, currently in 2026, David Lee Roth is 71.
Mm-hmm.
7 years younger than Sammy Hagar.
He might have lived a little harder.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
quite possible, Heidi.
Oh, Heidi. Understatement of the show. We just started, and I can guarantee that's the understatement. But yeah, David Lee Roth, 71, Hagar, 78, and Rich Springfield is 76.
Yeah.
Wow. What'd you do over the weekend, Josh?
I went to a birthday party for a 6-year-old.
Okay.
That was fine.
Was it at one of the big event spaces, or was it in a backyard?
It was a backyard pool party.
Okay.
Let's see here.
And was it one that parents stayed at, or you dropped Finn off and?
Well, my wife made it seem like it was one that parents stayed at, but I was the only dad there. But it's fine because I know the parents and the grandparents, and I just talked to them the whole time. It was great. It was great. We went swimming yesterday. We made some tacos. I have 2 Newtown stories. Actually,
I saw one in the news.
No, I didn't even want to talk about that.
It's awful.
I have a good story and I have a very frustrating story
Okay.
about my ongoing dog do
Oh,
problems.
don't
Oh, in
get
your
me
yard?
started. We have.
Why aren't people picking it up?
That's.
Okay.
Somebody's going to get hurt.
Yes, I'm gonna start. I'll start with it. I'll start with this one.
It might have been the reason we added cameras.
Oh, I wanted to get one. Ring cam. I resisted because I'm not some sort of paranoid weirdo, but apparently, Bob, I am.
No, stepping in landmines in your yard
In your
is
own
not
yard.
paranoid. It's not paranoid.
I probably found it 5 times. I probably stepped in it 3 times.
It's ridiculous.
And you could say, "Well, Josh, aren't you watching?" We were going, "Come on, people."
in my own front yard.
In my own front yard when I don't own a dog. So I've been having some problems lately. Well, last week, I'm walking out to my car to come to work. And as I'm walking out, I see someone stopped in the yard.
Okay.
In the yard.
With or without a bag in hand.
In the middle. It's going. It's in the middle. So I walk around to my, I say, "Oh, good afternoon." And I walk around to my car and I'm putting stuff in my car and I'm purposely taking a long time.
To see what happens.
And so I see her bend over and I say, okay, this is a good sign.
Yeah.
But then I see her trying to pick up a huge pile. I mean, this is a boxer pit bull mix. With a leaf and tree bark.
Oh, she is
didn't
not.
bring a bag.
No, and the only reason she's doing it was
Because
you were there.
right there.
Yep.
And you said, "Hey, hold on. I see you forgot a bag. I'll bring you
That's
one."
exactly what I would have done.
Exactly.
So I walk
Exactly.
back.
Passive aggressive.
Yep.
But plausible denial of being a good neighbor.
Guys, I'm fuming on the inside. But I walk around. I walk around the car and I say, "Hang on, let me go get you something."
You did say that.
And she said, "Can you?" "Yeah, I'm sorry." Well, no, I'm sorry. She didn't say I'm sorry. She said, "Yeah, do you have a bag or something?" And I go inside and I get a bag. And a big
How
wad
old
of-
are we talking?
She is maybe 40.
Oh,
Okay.
old
So
enough to know better.
Yes, younger. But I go inside and I hand her the big wad of paper towels and the trash bag. And I go, "Here you go." And then I go and get in my car and I take a long time as well, just to see if I can see if she really does pick it up. And she picks it up and starts to walk off. And, of course, Bob, I wait for her to get around the corner and then I follow her. I want to see what street she lives on.
That's good. That's good stuff.
And then I drive by and I'm like, okay. the more I think about it, she has this umbrella. I guess it's a hot day outside or whatever. She's fumbling with this umbrella, picking up this. She had absolutely zero intention.
Right. That's
when
right.
she
If
left the
there's no
house.
bag in hand, no.
Zero intention of picking up whatever. Okay. And then I started thinking all these problems I have. Maybe the dog smells his own scent, and he's like, "This is where
Where
my
I go."
This is my toilet.
Yeah. Right.
This is where I go." So I'm thinking I caught my culprit. Fast forward to the yard sale on Saturday morning. Okay, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Walter Knoll 550.
We know.
The soccer game was Friday night. I went out and didn't have a lot to drink, just enough. And then, I drove home. And for whatever reason, I had terrible sleep that night. So I'm running late for the yard sale. But as I'm going out to get in my car, I start driving and I see her. 6:45 in the morning. And she's heading my way.
With the dog.
With the dog. So I loop around the block and I pull up to the intersection. So she can't see me, but I can see her.
You've seen enough movies, to lay back.
Yeah.
Pull my seat back. I had the binoculars and the pistachio nuts. It's a regular stakeout. And so I see her go down, and I'm judging. She probably got to my neighbor's house, and the dog stopped off. And I said, "Here we go. Here we go."
And then what happened?
And through my head, I'm playing in my head what I'm going to say to her. All the things. Why you own a dog if you can't clean
She
up
picked it
after
up
it?
this time.
What kind of person are you? She bends over, she picks it up
With a bag.
with a bag.
Well,
Not tree bark and an old leaf.
Here's the deal. I agree with Heidi and you. She wasn't going to when you
The first
caught
time.
her.
Yeah.
Yes.
And maybe she goes, "I need to be a better neighbor." And maybe it worked out. Maybe you, your wife, and her significant, maybe you'll all become friends.
I doubt it.
Maybe it wasn't her. Maybe you have another villain on the street.
Oh, there's almost certainly.
I got my eyes peeled. But to Bob's point, maybe we have solved a problem.
Yeah.
But
And
that's
brought us all
after.
together.
Yes, it's brought us all together after I've stepped in and tracked into my house
yeah.
3 times. Okay, I wish it wouldn't have had to come to this.
One
but
time,
maybe we've made a change.
well, I don't want to meddle. You probably should admonish me for being a dope. I took the dog out one time, forgot a bag. And I went, "Oh, you had to go." So I immediately didn't finish the walk, quickly
Straight
back
back.
home, got on my bike with a bag, rode back and got it.
Good.
Yeah.
So I don't want to meddle for that. Again, I was stupid for leaving it. But we got to be good neighbors.
Well, and it happens to the best of
Yeah.
us. We have it attached to the leash, but sometimes, it's run out and you forgot to put it in.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we have a couple of apartments nearby because this happened to me last week, and we got like halfway down the street, and I'm like, "Oh, I don't have a bag," but there was one across the street at the apartment complex. I grabbed it, and it
like a
felt
little-
better.
yeah.
Now,
That's
I have a
great.
different animal story for you.
oh,
So this weekend, I told you guys that we had family reunion, in-law family reunion. So my father-in-law was staying with us Friday and Saturday night. Now, he's 84, and we don't have a first floor bedroom. So we put him in our bed on the second floor, which meant we were going to sleep upstairs on the third floor. So we're sleeping there Saturday night. Sunday, we wake up at about 7:30, pull the curtain back, and Marsh goes, "What is this?"
uh-oh.
So our bay window doesn't go all the way up to the third floor. When our window right there is looking down at the bay window roof.
Oh, okay.
And she goes, "I think this is a baby squirrel." And I go, "That is not a baby squirrel. It has ears." And all of a sudden it turns a little bit, and we see this long striped
Yeah.
tail
Striped tail? Chipmunk?
Exactly where was it?
on the
the
second
bay
floor
area.
roof. So we're on
Bay
the
window.
third floor looking down. This is a good 20 feet up, if not further than that.
I'm stunned.
It is a little raccoon.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was a skunk.
And so I swear to you, we could have sat there and watched it for hours because we were waiting on its head to turn, but we could tell it was breathing. The chest was just going up and down and up and down. Finally, like, well, we got to get going. We have to go to this family reunion. So we leave and we come back, and Marcia is taking George out to do her business. And all of a sudden I hear her, because I'm out on the side, come here. Harley, come here. And I go out, and I'll show you a little picture. Now it's on our front steps.
Oh, yeah, little one.
Crawling down.
Oh, look at him.
Okay, yeah, cute, right?
Until.
So, as we're walking by, I can't tell if it's stuck in our handrail and the steps, but another young girl walks by, and she's like, oh my gosh, this was not on my bingo card. A baby raccoon? So she's like, do you guys need help moving it? And we're like, we're just going to see what it does. She kind of goes in and shoos it. It runs off into my neighbor's hostas. We don't see it again. We get home after we had run a couple errands, and my father-in-law is now left, and George is going crazy in our backyard. So the first time we follow George and her very annoying bark back behind the pool, behind all of the pumps, and there's a little raccoon.
Baby raccoon. Same raccoon.
Not so fast.
You have a pod living with you.
So I end up blocking it off, looking like a child with like some lawn chair and a trash can and something else, so George won't go back there. I'm not pinning the little raccoon back there. I'm making sure that George is not going to get her little nose snipped at.
Yo, right.
So that's blocked off. Next thing you know, George is in the front yard, just standing over this one corner, going crazy. So I walk back, and we have this kind of concrete. It almost looks like a tombstone. It's a little weird now that I think about it. And I pull it back, and there's another one. Now, we know that there are two. We don't know if that other one that was on the roof is one of the two. But this morning, or a third, this morning, the one had maneuvered its way over by the fence. One was still by the pool when I left, but in the back. The other one that was in the front is no longer with us. I mean, not dead, but no longer with us.
I would say, Heidi taking control.
Yeah. But that was what we did yesterday.
So what are we thinking now?
Well, here's what
the Security Council at home, I'm sure, have.
And the neighbors, we all have we have an empty, abandoned, vacant house that is being knocked down as we speak. There was just one wall left. And beside it in this side yard is bamboo and we're thinking maybe the raccoons were over there.
And the construction.
And the construction brought them over to our house. But as of now,
we
have a couple little.
You don't want to be mean. I know you, but you don't want them to destroy your house,
and they will,
or your garage, or whatever.
All of it.
Yeah.
So that's why we're trying to keep an eye on it.
A group of raccoons is called a gaze.
Well, they were gazing at me, and I was gazing at them.
Well, and they're called that because of their habit of standing on their hind legs and staring intently at humans. They are interesting
They
creatures.
bow up.
They are very
and you
interesting.
Gotta be careful. They'll kill a dog, a little dog.
Yeah,
especially.
Oh my
and that's
gosh.
why I was keeping George
gosh.
away, because we didn't want it to. And a lot of them carry rabies.
That's true too.
So
and if he's around or she's around the pool, they'll drown a dog.
Oh, I know.
You know your country. You don't
So
know.
I don't know anything about that.
You're a little bit rock and roll.
I've heard some
I'd
people.
rather it be a raccoon than a possum, just because it's slightly cuter. But we've seen a possum too. So much for city living, you guys. It is 3:32. We got to get to traffic and see how it's moving along on this Monday.
Heidi, an accident on 44 West at 270 is blocking the right center lane and causing a stop and go back up to Lindbergh. There's a crash on 70 West at Lucas and Hunt with stop and go traffic back to Jennings Station. 55 North is heavy between 44 44 and the Poplar Street Bridge. 64 West is jammed between Kings Highway and Clayton Skinker. 64 East bogs down around 170. And 44 is closed in both directions between the Musial Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge. That's due to a large sinkhole directly under 44 near the Dome. That has 70 East jammed between St. Louis Avenue and Tucker. This traffic report is brought to you by the Quarry at Crystal Springs Golf Course. The Quarry at Crystal Springs delivers a convenient and affordable golf course that is a true test of any player's game. 4 sets of tees will allow players of all abilities to choose the course length that will best suit their enjoyment. Visit them today. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell and Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
I trust Pella Windows and Doors of St. Louis to help improve my home when it matters most. It's not just Pella's high-quality windows and doors. It's the local experts who know the St. Louis area so well. For a limited time, get 20% off Pella projects or 0% no payments, no interest if paid in full within 24 months. Call 833-87-PELLA or visit Pella.com/radio to learn more. 833-87-PELLA or Pella.com/radio. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Worldwide Technology Raceway is the only track in America to host a NASCAR event, an IndyCar event, and an NHRA event.
The Raceway features a full schedule on their drag strip, oval track, and Gateway Kartplex. For full schedule and ticket info, go online to www.raceway.com.
The track, under the leadership of owner Curtis Francois, continues to upgrade the race experience for fans who come from around the country. For tickets, go to www.raceway.com.
That's www.raceway.com.
Diana from Newstetter's Fine Jewelers here to remind you, we don't just offer the best pieces, we offer one of the last master hand engravers in our country. My father can create timeless, personal, and unforgettable pieces. Come by our showroom at the corner of Big Ben and Doherty Ferry or learn more online at wowdiamonds.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Oh, I would have left the comp area, Bob, and just went out for this one.
Yeah, that's one of the things that makes us very, very different people.
A little Rick Springfield. We've been having a discussion of what else did he sing besides Jesse's Girl, if you're just joining us. And last month, if you weren't with us, we talked to Jordan Kimler about Premier U's upcoming event about perimenopause. The event exceeded expectations, bringing together women for an evening of education, conversation, and empowerment. And Jordan is back with us to kind of do a recap. And in case we missed it, remind us of what we should be looking for. Was there a common theme that you heard from the women who attended?
Yes. So it was, I just don't feel like myself. Mm-hmm. So they talk about this in the documentary, that it's sometimes hard to articulate what is going on in your body. It's something's changed and I just don't feel like myself.
Yeah.
And so also like the event, it was just extremely powerful. I mean, women just came together. They're starving for that education when it comes to perimenopause.
Well, I mean, history shows us we didn't have answers. I mean, you just kind of dealt with it and moved on. It was just a part of aging. But do you feel like that's finally starting to change a bit, that we are going to actually talk about this more and we're going to know that I'm not just stressed out, something is going on in my body?
Exactly. I mean, there's still limited research that needs to be done, but the conversation is continuing. You and I did the first PBS documentary, The M Factor, and this one was, I feel like, even more impactful. They brought in several specialists, an oncologist. They also brought in a neurologist to really talk about what's actually going on, psychologist as well as psychiatrist, that maybe hormones are playing a role here, that we can't quite put exactly what's going on, but we see that those changes, even in perimenopause, which can start in your early to mid 30s.
Which I think most people do not realize. Because at that point, a lot of people are still having babies.
Right, exactly. You know, I have a lot of women that I see, actually, they're postpartum, about 1 year to 2 years, and they're late 30s, mid 40s, and they are like, I just don't think I ever rebounded after having this baby.
Isn't that interesting? I know one of the themes of the evening was that so many women didn't recognize what any of the signs of perimenopause is. So what are some of the most common symptoms that we women are experiencing that we often dismiss as aging, or just, oh, we're stressed and we're too busy taking care of the kids or mom and dad or whatever?
Brain fog, weight gain, sleep disturbances, because sleep disturbances affect everything, including cortisol regulation, which affects metabolism, hunger cues. Really, like the abdominal weight gain, I think, was a big one. And then the memory. So many women are thinking that, do I have early Alzheimer's? Do I have dementia? My grandmother had that. It runs in my family. And they're actually going to their primary care, and their primary care is trying to educate them the best they can. And then they're going to even a neurologist, and they're all just like, your brain's fine.
Yeah.
But they're not providing them with solutions. So that's where we come into play. It's like, you don't just have to put up with this, right?
Yeah.
We develop solutions for our patients.
You know, when we watched that original M Factor, one of the things that stuck out with me, one of the doctors that maybe wasn't a gynecologist was saying that they had one, like, kind of chapter on menopause. Yeah. Like, it's not even taught.
No.
To people who are going to be treating us.
No. So my degree is adult geriatric primary care. We had a 15-minute lecture on menopause, and I was essentially told, do not prescribe hormones. They cause cancer. They cause clotting. Here, have a good day. There's no test on this.
And to be clear, there was maybe one study, and then everybody latched on to that estrogen piece causing cancer. That has now been debunked.
It has absolutely been debunked. In fact, you know, the black label is off of the estradiol products. So it's just going to take a long time for us to undo that.
Yeah.
And essentially that it actually was a really big research study which halted because of the incidence of the breast cancer scare. But really, if you look into it, they didn't distinguish the difference between bioidentical hormones and synthetic hormones in the study at all.
Do you have a cause and effect or even anecdotal evidence? My wife, Jen, just texted me. She had frozen shoulder and had to get. And this is like 15 years ago, so in her early 40s. And had she been on a treatment, which I guess maybe didn't really exist 15 years ago, could that have prevented the frozen shoulder?
Potentially. So, and it was available. She fell into that early women's health initiative from the 2002, 2003. So everybody was scared to prescribe hormones. Yes, frozen shoulder is one of those weird symptoms. Ringing in the ears actually is another one. Itchy ears too.
I think that's from me yelling at her. But anyway.
But frozen shoulder is so weird and something that we don't know nearly enough about. You just think that you pulled something.
And then they'll go to PT.
And then that whole... the whole part that encapsulates it just thickens to where finally you can't move at all. It's crazy.
Ligament laxity, joint problems. And I found women in my practice that if I start estrogen therapy, their joint pain completely resolves.
Well, and I have been a big advocate of the generic medical weight loss because that's helped my joints.
Absolutely.
I do not have nearly the pain that I used to have in my knee. I had knee surgery back in 95, and it's gone away. It doesn't pop as much. It's amazing to me. So there are a lot of things now that people can do to help some of those things and maybe prevent some of these things.
Yeah, and I will say, too, like the PBS, the second documentary, M Factor 2, they had a lot of spouses on this documentary, which I'd love to see. And, you know, there's a husband and wife sitting on a couch. There's a group of men talking that hey, like, let's talk about these things, because it's not because the relationship was rocky,
Right.
and they couldn't explain why. She just like, I don't know, I'm
She's
irritable.
mean as a snake.
Right, I'm
Yeah.
irritable.
Why?
That's exactly right. And a lot of people
Should I
don't
not have said
understand.
that?
I'm just moody. I'm more moody than I've ever been. But
Hey,
a lot
the
of times
truth
that's, part of that. So for women listening who are wondering whether hormones, metabolism, sleep, or other systems could be connected, what should their next step be?
I would say trying to seek out a provider that is educated in perimenopause, menopause. It's okay to ask that question. How much do you know about menopause? Have you invested in your education to understand this? And there are some lists out there that you can look at as far as finding a menopause provider. But ultimately, I tell every patient this: you can pay to be on that list. You don't necessarily have to take a special certification or anything. And really trial and error, right?
Yeah.
Meeting with somebody. Do you fit? Do your personalities fit? Are they listening
Exactly.
to you?
Are they listening? Because how often do they kind of just nod, and the next thing you go, you're on the same medications that you were when you came in, the same dosage and everything. And that's been my experience when I've sat down with you, is we really go through everything. And one of the things that I tell people all the time, my thyroid wasn't technically out of balance, but you didn't want to put me on a thyroid medicine, so we did a thyroid boost that you do that can actually change things but not tie you to a medication.
Exactly. So natural thyroid stuff to try to help regulate that, which includes decreasing inflammation systemically, selenium, Brazil nuts.
Taking that Brazil nut every day. What does that do? What is in that Brazil nut, since
It's
you
the
mentioned
selenium.
it? And what is that?
It's a micronutrient, essentially. It's depleted in our soils. Yeah.
Which is so interesting. All these little things that don't require a lot of money, don't require you to change your lifestyle too much. It's just little things that you can do once you sit down and talk to you or somebody similar.
Yeah, I find especially sleep, and I know we talk about that a lot on here, but if I can get my women and my men sleeping, it makes weight loss easier. It makes they can adapt to stress better. But I find that in our country, it's like, move on to the next thing, right? Everybody, it's this rite of passage to go on 5 to 6 hours of sleep to try to cram more things in, right? I am starting to see a shift from when I first became a provider 14 years ago, but that's the world we were stuck in for 10 years. It was go, 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 right?
Yeah. And it's almost like you wore it as a badge if you didn't need as much sleep.
I don't need as much sleep. I function well. I've said it so many times.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody is wondering if what you guys provide at Premier U, some of it is covered by insurance, some of it isn't. It's just kind of, you have to fill it out.
Exactly. So I like to say I'm a good balance between cash and insurance. A lot of times insurance doesn't want to do exactly what I want to do, whether that's a medication, a supplement, maybe a certain lab that I want ordered, but I give the patient the option for the cash versus insurance.
Yeah. And it's preventable. Like things that you are treating is kind of setting us up for a better future.
To prevent heart disease, ultimately, which is the number one cause of death in women. Women are very fearful of breast cancer, and I understand the concern, but we're more likely to have heart disease and die of that.
Yeah. So besides taking some of these supplements, or what are some other things? Getting those steps in?
Yeah, at least 10,000 steps a day. I know it sounds silly, but I see so many patients that work sedentary jobs. They work from home. They might go to the kitchen to get lunch, and they're maybe getting 4,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
So at least 10,000, even up to 12,000 steps a day. That's something simple and easy, parking your car further away. I know these sound silly, but they make a huge impact when it comes to your overall health.
Somebody said, I went through menopause by the time I was 40 after being sent to several doctors without figuring it out. Finally, one at Wash U did, and probably changed your life.
The trajectory of your life, right?
Yeah.
Maybe preventing heart disease, preventing diabetes, all those comorbidity conditions.
Yeah. I remember growing up, and a friend's mom kind of, lack of a better term, getting crazy and maybe slapped her for the first time.
Yeah.
And, looking back, we're like, oh, she was going through menopause. Like, she didn't have a psychotic break. She was just going through the change.
Exactly. And we just didn't talk about it enough, right?
Yeah.
Even my own mother didn't talk about it.
Well, or my mom had a hysterectomy before she actually got to a certain age. And so she's like, I don't know.
I don't know.
They don't know. And so then it sets you up for not knowing. And thankfully, we have Premier U. You guys, you can book your consultation with Premier U. Call 618-750-LIFE. You can also go learn a little bit more at premiertheletterumed.com. It's always great having you in. I feel educated, even though that I see you guys once a month. It's just all these little nuggets of information make us all better and feel better. So thank you so much. It is 3:47. Captain Paul, how's traffic?
Heidi, we have an accident on 44 West at 270 blocking the right center lane and causing a stop and go back up to Big Bend. There's a crash on 70 West before Bermuda. 55 North is heavy between 44 and the Poplar Street Bridge. 64 West is jammed between Kings Highway and Clayton Skinker. 44 is closed in both directions between the Musial Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge. That's due to a large sinkhole directly under 44 near the Dome. That has 70 East jammed between St. Louis Avenue and Tucker. And in Illinois, 64 East is slow between 111 and 157. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
You know that honey-do list isn't getting any shorter, and you got to make a dent into it. Can I recommend going somewhere to helping you out? Schnarr's Hardware. Schnarr's Hardware has two locations, one in Webster and one in Ladue. One great family, two great hardware stores. Schnarr's Hardware. When you walk in with that list, you say, okay, I think I know how to do this one, but these three I need help on. And you know what? The people behind the counter at Schnarr's Hardware, that's what they do best. They have the expertise, so they can help you with electrical, help you with plumbing, painting, really anything at Schnarr's Hardware. They're small, they're compact, but it's that friendly neighborhood hardware store that has been the way it's been here in America for years, right? You remember when your grandfather took you to the hardware store. That's Schnarr's Hardware. The popcorn and the advice are free. So when you go to Schnarr's Hardware, two locations in Webster and in Ladue. Don't forget about the website, schnarrshardware.com. So for all of your hardware needs and that honey-do list, Schnarr's Hardware or schnarrshardware.com.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture and Mattress, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. We offer the largest selection of Amish-made furniture in the St. Louis area, plus quality living room furniture from Flex Steel and Smith Brothers. We carry top-quality mattresses from world-famous brands like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Chatham & Wells. Shop our Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, and Ellisville showrooms. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
When you pay for tree work, you want to be sure you're getting the most for your hard-earned money. That's why you should always use the ISA certified arborist at River City Tree Service in Baldwin, Missouri. Hi, I'm Steve with River City Tree Service, and we've been the go-to tree service since 2008. Tree removal, tree trimming, storm damage, deadwood removal, stump grinding, and more. Give River City Tree Service a call for all your tree service needs at 314-270-8071. That's 314-270-8071. River City Tree Service.
Before you put your home on the market, before you have to pay money fixing it up to sell it, before you have to pay real estate commissions, call me. I'm Mike Robinson with Robank Properties, and I will buy your home. Any property, any condition, anywhere, and always as is. Call me, Mike Robinson with Robank Properties at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. You have nothing to lose when you call Robank Properties at 314-283-0867.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
This morning, Vice President Vance said that a deal between Iran and the U.S. would extend the ceasefire and pave the way for 60 days of technical negotiations to end the war. Jordana Miller, ABC News correspondent in Jerusalem, joins us with what she knows. Thanks for making time for us.
Good to be with you guys. I think there's still a lot so much that we don't know about what is actually in this MOU, this Memorandum of Understanding. It's supposed to be published in the next 48 hours or so now that it has technically or digitally been signed already, even though the actual ceremony is not taking place until Friday. It does give the United States and Iran another 60 days to hammer out some issues, and those are primarily the nuclear issues. And I think the big question is what has Iran agreed to in terms of limiting their nuclear weapons program in this MOU? Are they going to pause enrichment? Are they going to hand over the hundreds of pounds of enriched uranium to 60%, or are they going to dilute it? Is the United States going to take part in diluting it, overseeing it? How long will that take? And what about the nuclear facilities at Natanz and Fordow? Are they going to be taken apart or not? And we heard the president for the first time tell the New York Times that Iran will be allowed to enrich at a lower level, which was the same. That was the agreement that former President Barack Obama came to with the Iranians, and Iran was allowed to enrich to 3.67% for civilian purposes. Is that going to be part of the deal as well? And does that kick in after several years of pausing enrichment, or does it happen at the same time? There's a lot of questions. And some of them will be technical, and they will need nuclear scientists and experts involved. I think most people agree that 60 days is not going to be long enough, so I suspect we'll probably, if the talks go well, we'll have another extension. But I think here in Israel, there's great disappointment because in this initial MOU, there doesn't seem to be the Iranians haven't agreed, up front on a lot of things. And I think the Israelis fear that Iran will, delay and drag out the talks, and ultimately, the deal will not be that tight or have enough oversight. And, that leaves the Israelis feeling vulnerable to the Iranian nuclear threat. Even though some damage was done, and I think that's been really, I think alarming for a lot of Israelis. And that's why we heard some officials in Netanyahu's government harshly criticize the deal. His finance minister called it a bad deal. His national security minister said, Israel's not bound to this deal. When the Israeli prime minister himself, Benjamin Netanyahu, finally said something about the deal just a couple hours ago, he did not publicly criticize the deal. But, he did say that there's still work to be done, and, the Iranian threat is still there.
Jordana, the disappointment on one side and delight on another side, different factions looking at this, I don't even know what you call it, negotiation, because it's not a deal. It's just,
right.
Let's kick the can down the road for 60 days. And as you pointed out, maybe 60 more after that, maybe 60 more after that. From our conversations, I'm kind of skeptical of any deals with that regime. And so I wonder in these next few days, is it the kind of thing that something could happen that we skeptics would then feel better about it?
I mean, I think we're going to have to wait and see if Iran agrees to several ways in which it will limit its nuclear program, and we just don't know about it yet. And then the details have to be figured out. I mean, if Iran says, okay, we're not going to enrich uranium for 15 years, we're going to take apart Natanz and Fordow, and we're going to hand over that enriched material, I think that, and there was oversight, that's not a bad place to start. Because who knows if the regime will survive another 10 years, given what's going on there. And, I think the Israeli prime minister tonight, first of all, he admitted that, Israel doesn't even know what's exactly in the deal, which I think is also disconcerting, given that Israel and the United States started the war and fought much of the war together. It feels like Israel should be looped in on what this deal looks like, and will it limit Israel's ability to strike Hezbollah, which is Iran's proxy in Lebanon? We've seen Iran, in a sense, successfully negotiate to protect Hezbollah in Lebanon, which is, in some sense, absurd. This is Iran's proxy that's been attacking in northern Israel, really, since October 7th, with a small pause in the middle of the war because of a ceasefire.
Yeah. Well, I feel like a broken record, but I guess we'll just wait and see once again. Jordana, thank you so much. Stay safe.
Thanks. Talk soon.
Repairing chimneys, walkways, porches, foundations, entire homes, anything to do with brick or stone, you need a tuck pointer you can trust, and that, of course, is Morelli. Morelli is a family-run business started in 1991, and they're only as good as their last customer. That's why when you check out the reviews online at MorelliTuckPointing.com, you'll notice that they're actual customers who are singing the praises of Morelli. So if you need a tuck pointer, you need Morelli. 314-645-1387 or MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Summer reading isn't just for kids. St. Louis County Library's Adult Summer Reading Club is happening June 1st through August 10th. You can sign up and receive a free book when you register. The program offers great prizes like books, Cardinals tickets, and gift cards. There's also fun programming happening all summer long. You can learn more at slcl.org.
Okay, you've decided you want to get away, you want to travel, you want to see the world. Let Altair Travel and Cruises handle all the details, you handle all the fun. You don't know where to stay, you don't have to worry about transfers. What about your luggage? What about a tour guide? You don't want a tour guide? Lewis and Clark had a tour guide. You're in a different country, you want to go see the Sistine Chapel, you're going to need a tour guide. Let Altair Travel handle all those details, you handle all the fun. 314-968-9600, Altair Travel or altairtravel.com.
Choose Pella of St. Louis for window and door replacement to help enhance your home. For a limited time, get 20% off Pella projects. Call 833-87-PELLA or visit Pella.com/radio. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
The Big 550.
KTRS St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Lindsay Davis, anchor Prime streaming weeknights on ABC News Live. World leaders are gathering in the French Alps for the G7 summit. It's the first time leaders have met since the start of the U.S.-Iran war. President Trump signaled a peace agreement between the U.S. and Iran could be finalized by the end of the week. The president, while meeting with France's leader, says the deal would extend the ceasefire for 60 days, reopen the Strait of Hormuz, and talks will begin on Iran's nuclear program.
The main thing is that Iran will not have a nuclear weapon. They fully agreed to that with strong policing powers.
President Trump also spoke about Ukraine and Russia, saying both sides appear ready to end hostilities. Russia carried out a deadly attack in Ukraine's capital. President Zelensky says Russian drones struck an 11th century Christian Orthodox monastery, which is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. ABC's Tom Sufi-Burge says Russia is claiming without evidence that a U.S.-made Patriot air defense missile was responsible.
The simple fact is that Russia fired hundreds of drones at the Ukrainian capital overnight, dozens of missiles. Ukraine certainly did use Patriot interceptors to shoot down some of those missiles, but the idea that one of these malfunctioned and hit the cathedral itself is very hard to believe.
The New York Knicks are still celebrating after beating the San Antonio Spurs in Game 5, becoming the NBA champs for the first time in more than 50 years. New York City's Mayor Zoran Mamdani announced the Knicks will be honored with a ticker tape parade this Thursday. Mamdani also addressed pockets of violence and dozens of arrests following the Knicks win.
There were a select number of New Yorkers who
celebrated in a way that was frankly unacceptable. It was not celebration, it was an excuse, whether it be to attack someone around them or to be violent, even towards our police officers.
The mayor says the city is taking every precaution to ensure the parade is safe. Crowds will line the famed Canyon of Heroes to celebrate the win and their favorite players. You're listening to ABC News.
Summer has a way of bringing people together. Backyard barbecues, open patios, sunlight filling your favorite rooms. It's the season when your home takes center stage, and if your windows or doors are showing their age, there's never been a better time to refresh the spaces you enjoy most. Imagine more natural light in your favorite rooms, a patio door that glides effortlessly, and a home that's ready for everything summer brings. That's the difference beautifully crafted replacement windows and doors can make, adding comfort, style, and lasting value to the place you love most. Right now, buy one window or door and get one window or door 40% off. Call now to see how affordable summer comfort and style can be with flexible financing options available. From the moment you schedule your appointment, you'll experience the attention to detail and world-class service that's helped make Renewal by Andersen one of the most trusted names in home improvement. Schedule your free window and door diagnosis by June 30th. Call 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyanderson.com today. Renewal by Andersen. Superior products, exceptional service.
Do you have the option to control your cash flow and wealth? Are you getting a return on your greatest asset, your lifetime and potential generational income? Overcome these critical financial planning challenges by discovering the control option mindset featuring the lifetime and generational income maximizer. Call Mark Benson and his team at the Control Option at 314-432-9540 or online at thecontroloptionmindset.com.
Good afternoon. It is 76 degrees at 4:03. I'm David Solomon, and here's what's happening. Interstate 44 in downtown St. Louis is expected to be closed in both directions for at least a week due to a large sinkhole. City officials say the sinkhole formed near the Dome at America's Center Saturday morning following a 20-inch water main break. During a news conference yesterday, Mayor Kara Spencer said this is why an increase in the city's water rates is needed.
The way that you prevent sinkholes like this is by being proactively replacing your water mains. And that's something that, as I mentioned, the city has been unable to do, not just in the near term. You know, this has been going on the entire time I've been on the planet. So, you know, when you have that sort of backlog of deferred maintenance, it is difficult to catch up with. And that's why we're very serious and very proactive in the rate study and the rate increases that we're putting forward right now. And we're very serious about making sure that we get those new dollars coming into the water department to start to be more proactive about that.
Detours are in place to help motorists navigate around the closure. Captain Paul Kopsky will have more in traffic in just a few minutes. A prolific Lincoln County foster mother and exotic animal collector faces up to 7 years in prison after pleading guilty to abandoning one of her adopted children in Texas. Authorities say 70-year-old Brenda Deutsch of Winfield sent the teenager to live with another animal collector. Deutsch pleaded guilty today after attorneys and prosecutors struck a plea deal to drop child abuse charges filed last April in exchange for a guilty plea to one count of child endangerment. The teenage victim allegedly was taken to Texas weeks after telling authorities about abuse at the hands of Deutsch in an interview with the state in December of 2024. Authorities were tipped off to the teen's whereabouts in February of 25 after she was reported missing from school. The Missouri State Fire Marshal is urging caution with fireworks as Missouri prepares for a big celebration this summer. KTRS's Jill Enders has the story.
As Missourians prepare for a summer filled with even more festivities and celebrations than usual, including the America 250 commemoration, the Division of Fire Safety is urging residents to keep safety at the forefront of their planning. State Fire Marshal Tim Bean says a public fireworks display is the best display and the safest. Bean adds that consumers need to understand that fireworks can be extremely volatile and sensitive to heat. Even static electricity can cause fireworks to ignite. Last year in Missouri, 350 people sought hospital care related to fireworks injuries. Jill Enders, KTRS News.
And Ameren, Illinois has unveiled a new electric vehicle charging station on River Park Drive in East St. Louis. The utility held a ribbon-cutting ceremony for the fast charging station earlier this morning. The station is located at the East St. Louis Municipal Building, and City Manager Robert Betts says the charging station will deliver direct current energy directly to the vehicle's battery and can reach an 80% charge in less than an hour. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. A national sandwich chain plans to expand in St. Louis. Potbelly Sandwich Works has announced it will open a new location in the Central West End later this summer, with plans to open more locations in the region. The chain already has locations in Clayton, Creve Coeur, and St. Charles. Let's take a look now at the closing markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. The Dow gained 468 points to close at 51,671. The Nasdaq was up 795 points to 26,683, and the S&P 500 increased 122 points, closing at 7,554. KTRS News Time is 4:07. Let's head over to the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, where Paul Kopsky has the latest from the world of sports.
David Dustin May takes the mound for the Cardinals as they come off a 3-3 road trip to open a 3-game series against the San Diego Padres tonight at Busch Stadium. Don't forget to tune in to the CarShield Sportsplex Summer of Soccer updates throughout the day here on the Big 550, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri and Regazzi's. And tragedy befell the Mizzou football family with the untimely passing of former edge rusher Alden Smith at the age of 36. Smith was a top 10 pick of the 49ers and would go on to win the Defensive Rookie of the Year in 2011. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. The latest is an accident on 64 East at 170 with a backup to McKnight. An accident on 44 West at 270 is blocking the right center lane and causing a stop-and-go back up to Big Bend. There's a crash on 70 West before Bermuda with a backup to Goodfellow. 55 North is heavy between 44 and the Poplar Street Bridge. 64 West jammed between Kings Highway and Clayton Skinker. 44 is closed in both directions between the Musial Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge. That's due to a large sinkhole directly under 44 near the Dome. That has 70 East jammed between St. Louis Avenue and Tucker and between Grand and Branch. And in Illinois, 64 East is slow between 111 and 157. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rack House in Cottleville. Stop by for brunch or happy hour, or have the Rack House cater your next event with box lunches or buffets to accommodate groups of 10 to 200 people. The Rack House, featuring a seasonal menu and upscale casual dining and drinks since 2014. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
And in your KTRS First Alert forecast, mostly clear skies tonight with a low around 61. Increasing clouds with a chance of scattered afternoon showers tomorrow with a high near 81 and wind gusts up to 23 miles per hour. And tomorrow night, slight chance of an early evening shower, then partly cloudy with a low around 61. It's 76 degrees at 4:09. I'm David Solomon, KTRS News on the Talk of St. Louis.
Jill Farmer here with Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor at Capital Advisory Group and author of the #1 best-selling books on taxes, Keep What's Yours and Keeping What's Yours. Jeff, with the talk of rising interest rates, now's the time for a tax strategy.
Thanks, Jill. Since 1976, thousands of businesses have relied upon the tax reduction strategies provided by Capital Advisory Group to help them manage the effects of inflation and rising interest rates to keep more of what they earn. We're celebrating 50 years helping small businesses grow and thrive by minimizing the financial risk to their businesses, reducing their tax liability, and growing their wealth using strategic tax planning. The Fed is hinting that inflation and interest rates will continue to rise in the months ahead. If you're relying upon investment advice from someone who isn't familiar with your tax strategy, and you feel like you might be paying more than your fair share in taxes, we can help.
Give Capital Advisory Group a call at 636-394-5524, 636-394-5524, online at capitaladvisorygrp.com.
Mark Lawson with Black Fox Cooper, your local Anderson certified contractor. Like you, I feel the effects of inflation every day. Costs continue to rise. That's why putting off replacing your old windows could cost you more in the future. New Anderson windows can make your home more comfortable, more energy efficient, and more beautiful, while potentially saving you more money on utility bills. At Black Fox Cooper, we specialize in Anderson replacement windows and offer a personalized educational approach we call the Window Review. Don't wait. Improve your home today. Call 314-270-1484. Online, blackfoxcooper.com.
Summer is officially here.
Time for outdoor activities, sporting events, seasonal festivals, everything but cooking.
Oh, I almost forgot. Father's Day.
Treat Dad to a great breakfast. The best in St. Louis, according to the Post-Dispatch. Lunch while you're out and about, or a terrific home-style dinner. Nobody is disappointed with Gingham's. And don't forget our fabulous desserts. We're open 24 hours a day, so no matter when hunger strikes, Gingham's is open and ready to serve you.
Gingham's Homestyle Restaurant in St. Charles, 636-946-0266 or ginghamsrestaurant.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Our headlines for this Monday afternoon, June 15th, drive-through coffee chain plots latest site in St. Charles County. Have you guys noticed how many of these drive-through coffee chains are now there? You had Scooters, and now...
Is this Dutch Brothers?
Exactly. Wentzville officials have approved plans for a new Dutch Brothers coffee drive-through on a vacant lot at the southeast corner of Wentzville Parkway and Neela Road, adding another national coffee chain to the rapidly growing commercial corridor. It's amazing to me. Starbucks, Dutch Brothers, Scooters.
Seven Brews.
Yes. The proposal is for 1,063 square foot building with dual drive-through lanes. It will also have an escape lane, allowing customers to exit the line once their orders are ready. The shop will be built with an outdoor patio area served by a walk-up window. Dutch Brothers is an Oregon-based drive-through coffee chain known for its specialty drinks and high-volume drive-through model. It's been rapidly expanding in our region. The chain opened its first St. Louis area location in March of 2025 in O'Fallon, Missouri, and it has since added stores in Edwardsville, Fairview Heights, Bridgeton, with plans for additional locations in Belleville, Kirkwood, and Crestwood.
I saw the one on Bryan Road. I went out to Hat Tricks off Bryan Road in 70 for the sock football. Here I am.
Well,
I'm getting
already
into it.
European, aren't you?
I'm getting into it.
You are a hipster doofus.
I know, but I was reading an article, Heidi, about these, and they say they're avoiding your neck of the woods altogether. They say our niche is the suburbs.
Suburban young people,
and
probably.
we're going to, they build them like a Rallies or like a photo mat, remember, from the 80s. Drive through, you can't even go inside.
Have you ever had their coffee? I haven't. I haven't had Scooters. I haven't had Dutch Brothers. I haven't had the Seven Brews.
Yeah.
I go to Starbucks every day. But I actually prefer local, independent.
And we have so many. Coldy's, Park Avenue.
Now, having said that, I thought Scooters is okay.
Not as good as your
The Seven Brews. Seven Brews is a little better, and I haven't tried the Dutch oven.
Dutch Bros. Dutch Bros. Yeah, the niche is to get them in, get them out.
Yeah.
Drive through them.
Well, in a smaller footprint. I mean, you're not. You don't need a big size kitchen or space for people to sit around.
Fox Photos, was that the photo mat?
Kodak had them, and Fox did too.
Fox Photos. Remember the Libyans ran into it in Back to the Future?
This is the headline segment. I'm just going to do headlines.
Okay.
2 tragic and 1 annoying. A follow-up. Woman dies from being thrown from a bridge in Brazil without a safety cord. So they were doing a thing. 21-year-old woman wanted to be a PE teacher, doing one of those fun things. You've seen people go off bridges.
You mean like bungee jumping, which I've done, and she wasn't attached?
2 guys lifted her up. She was ready, posed, had her arms out, and they threw her off. And as they were throwing her, someone said, "The cord's not attached."
Oh no.
God.
Isn't that
awful?
I can't.
Oh my God.
It's unbelievable. And then it was, these guys were like Laurel and Hardy. Well, I thought you did it. I thought you did it. Unbelievable. Then this one is from Yemen's, quote, Spider-Man. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Ibn Antar. All over the world, rock climber, doesn't use any safety equipment. Well, it finally caught up to him in the inside of a volcano crater. Lost his grip.
Nope.
And he's gone.
Lost
Awful.
So those are 2 things for you adrenaline junkies to think about. And this is a follow-up to something we talked about several different days last week. The Big 12 has filed a lawsuit against Texas Tech seeking court approval to sanction the school over the Brendan Sorsby betting scandal. So they're trying to get the next level of court to say, yes, your league. The other injunction was against the NCAA. This one, the league is trying to say these are league rules, and we have the legal right to sanction members who don't go by the rules. They could offer prohibitions on appearance in postseason, televised events, restrictions on revenue distributions, et cetera, et cetera. And they've also discussed they would not do anything if they rule Sorsby ineligible. So those are some headlines that just trying to catch up and get you started on the week.
Speaking of being a daredevil, did you see where that plane carrying 11 skydivers crashed in Missouri closer to Kansas City, but no survivors, and that's just frightening.
My wife said that she went skydiving when she was younger, and 3 weeks after, over in Illinois.
Yeah.
It was 10, 15, 20 years ago. And 3 weeks after she went up, her instructor went down.
I did a couple of stories, and I feel like every single place, and we weren't allowed to jump. And yeah, all of them have some tragic story.
I am too old.
And have a child.
And have too much to live for. That being my child. Thank you, Heidi. All right. It is, you heard me. I'm all wrapped up in this World Cup stuff. I'm calling it football all of a sudden. But did you see this? The boss went to this game, Dallas Cowboys Stadium. They can't
today.
No, this was over the weekend.
Oh, okay.
They can't call it AT&T Stadium. They can't call it SoFi because they haven't sponsored it. So Dallas Stadium, Japan tied the Netherlands 2-2, and it is reported that they left the Dallas Cowboys locker room immaculate, even better than before they even went in there.
Really?
The fans in the stands were reportedly cleaning up after themselves.
There's video of it. They cleaned up their section in the stands.
How cool is that?
Jameis Winston, who is working with Fox for the World Cup coverage, for some reason, I have no idea why they tapped him, was helping the fans collect food wrappers and bottles. And this is what they say. It's part of Japanese culture of leaving things the way you found them. We saw on CBS Sunday Morning over the weekend. School lunches in Japan are healthy.
Yep.
There's
smaller portions.
Plenty of food, smaller portions. The Japanese have this other thing. Not only is it leave things the way you found them, but stop eating when you're 80% full.
Yeah. We most of us, I would say, grew up with Clean That Plate. And it really was not probably the best thing for us. But speaking of Japan, Kelly Jackson recently made a trip. She said no trash cans anywhere. If you have trash, you have to take it
home with you.
They don't even. She said it was the cleanest place she's ever been. She loved it.
Amazing.
Well, speaking of which, I hate to bring up this story, but did you see the text line? We're talking about the dog issues in the yards. This woman said, I forgot the bag. So I didn't want to leave it there, so I picked it up and put it in my pocket.
No.
And walked it home.
That's a bridge too far.
Yep.
I don't know why
I'll come
I said
back
she.
for that.
I don't know why I said she.
Why did you?
I don't know. But
did
they
you
said
keep those pants?
A neighbor was watching, took a shower after I got home. Did a whole shower. If you're still listening, did you keep the pants?
So, I gave my story about riding the bike back to get it in a hurry. Maybe you just, because so many people have Ring cameras.
No.
Stand up and shout, I forgot my bag. I'll be right back.
I'll be right back. Do not pick that up.
Not barehanded.
Come back and get it.
Yeah, it's oof. But this is part of being a homeowner. You got to take care of some of this stuff. You got to make sure that your grass is cut. You got to make sure your HVAC systems are working properly, especially in the summer St. Louis heat. And I will tell you, it's best if you just have a team on standby. That's what Indoor Comfort Team Heating and Air Conditioning is all about. They want to help you because they're your neighbors. They've been doing this since 1979 here here in your neighborhood and mine. And they've created more than a business. This is really a local company, family owned and operated, with techs that know what they're doing and they know how to treat you because they are your neighbors. Now, they have a couple of great promotions going on right now. For one, if you've had somebody come over and give you an estimate, an opinion, and you're like, I don't know, that's not rubbing me the right way. Well, Indoor Comfort Team will come over and give you a free second opinion. The other thing that I love about them is they're not going to lead you astray. They're not going to say you need a whole new system if they can basically fix it with one simple thing. And if you do need a new system, right now they have $2,000 off a new trained system with no interest financing. So if you think that your HVAC system is on the verge of going out, now's a good time to reach out to Indoor Comfort Team. 314-894-8200. 314-894-8200. You can also find them online at indoorcomfortteam.com. And I would suggest joining their VIP maintenance membership program. It's $20 a month, actually $19.99. And they will be there when you call if anything is to go wrong. 314-894-8200.
Julius Krasanik here, celebrating 54 years in this industry. My family owns Wholesale Siding Depot. That's WSDepot.com. Our seasoned customer service group has over 200 years of combined siding, window, and door experience. My grandson Elijah says,
"Are you kidding me?"
Tired of companies that like to apply pressure to sell you high-priced fiberglass or wood windows? We offer the Anderson Fibrex family of windows in styles and colors, including black, at wholesale prices. What are you waiting for? We sell truckloads of siding, windows, and doors from CertainTeed, Anderson, Viwinco, Provia, and other major brands, all at wholesale prices, while offering a free contractor referral service for your expert installation needs. Keep it local, family, and professional. Visit WSDepot.com. That's WSDepot.com.
Are you looking to buy a new home, set money aside for college, or start planning for retirement? Royal Banks of Missouri is here to create a personalized savings strategy that works for you and your financial goals. From roundup savings to money market to individual retirement accounts, they offer a variety of options to help you save for life's most memorable moments. Call 314-212-1500 or visit a location near you to learn more. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Hi, I'm Mike Robinson with Robank Properties, and I want your fixer-upper home. It's crazy to spend a ton of money fixing it up when I will pay you top dollar right now. I don't even care what condition it's in. Your trash is my treasure. No inspections, no contingencies, just cold, hard cash. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867. That's Mike Robinson, 314-283-0867, or at robangproperties.com.
In soccer, one sound can change everything. 1 billion people hear that sound and instantly know what it means. Every driver knows that sound. Nobody wants surprises. That's why there's CarShield. When a breakdown strikes your engine, transmission, or other major systems, CarShield helps protect you from costly surprises. So save the drama for the pitch. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS. It's Monday,
and that means news, politics, lighthearted topics, and everything St. Louis and beyond.
It's Ryan Krull from St. Louis Magazine on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
I was running errands this morning, and I was heading over to Illinois. 44 was closed due to that sinkhole. Ryan is covering that story, among others, for St. Louis Magazine. And Ryan, any idea how long this traffic is going to be diverted?
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be at least until the end of this coming weekend. And I was talking to some folks in City Hall about this, and what really surprised me, although I guess if you think about it, it's not that surprising, but what I was surprised to learn was that basically the size of this sinkhole is sort of the thing everyone's talking about. But the real issue is that it's right next to that pier that holds up Highway 44. So that's kind of the real obstacle crews are having to deal with. And it sounds like they're going to bring in some shoring to kind of, firm up that pier in the next few days. And that will probably let them reopen the highway, even though the sinkhole will itself not be filled in.
And that was my question. You could still open the highway if you're confident, but how long is it going to take to fix a giant? This thing is huge.
How big is it?
Oh, you haven't seen the pictures? Oh, it's pretty big.
But you can't tell how big it is by the pic. I mean, it looks big, but are we talking like how many feet?
Yeah, it's 35 feet one way and then about 20 feet the other way.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a whole lane of traffic. But any word on how long it would take to fill this thing back in?
No, I think that's going to be probably weeks at the minimal. And it's not so much the filling in of the dirt. I think that's relatively simple. But how it was explained to me was there's multiple water lines, there's a sewer line, there's electrical. And basically what they do is they start with the lowest thing first, like what's sort of at the bottom of the hole, and I'm pretty sure they said that is the MSD line, the sewer line. So basically they fix that. Then a little bit higher, there's a water line that needs to be fixed. And then above that is another water line. And then there's a bunch of Ameren, like electrical stuff. They have to shut off power to all this while they're doing it. So basically, I think they kind of just start from the bottom, work their way up. And, with all these cooks in the kitchen, I don't think it's going to be super quick. But I do think that it sounds like they're confident they can get the highway open to traffic here in the next 7 days or so, because even though the hole won't be fixed, they'll have sort of stabilized that pier and it'll be good to go.
Not to get all science-y and geological on us, but what was the actual cause? I know we had a lot of rain. Did something break? Was it a natural thing? And that, before you even think about filling it in, you got to make sure you fix what went wrong, right?
Exactly. So, they actually brought in someone, I think it was from the U.S. Geological Service, or U.S. Geological Services, and this person confirmed, there's nothing funky here in the geology. There's no caves or anything like that. This is basically just centuries-old infrastructure, and the verb, I guess it would be, what would it be, an adverb, I guess, that I keep hearing is cascading. It was a cascading series of failures. I think it started with an MSD pipe, that sewer pipe, popped, for lack of a better term, which then caused the water pipe nearby it to put pressure on it. Then whenever it blew another one. So it was just kind of one thing led to another. Wow. And now we have a giant hole in the ground. But basically the one thing everyone's blaming is just the fact we have this centuries-old infrastructure, and it's just, if you don't take proactive care of these things, this kind of stuff is inevitable. Yeah,
Brian, are there concerns that there are more sinkholes in that area?
So the mayor's chief operations officer, who I talked to, said that they did a pretty thorough survey, and I don't know how exactly you would look at this. I mean, you're looking at a century-old pipe. How do you know if it's going to burst or not? Yeah. He said, as far as they can tell in the area, they don't think there's any immediate concerns whatsoever, although they acknowledge, anytime this giant hole opens up in the earth, it's concerning, right? People are worried for a reason, but they said they don't see any cause to think that this is going to happen again anytime soon, at least at this scale.
Well, that's good news. Another story that caught my attention was about the nearly $1 million the city netted in parking fees and fine. Now, remind us, first of all, why had they stopped enforcing these laws?
Yeah, so basically during the pandemic, they had a holiday, I guess you could say, on most of the city's parking enforcement. So meters weren't getting checked. The street sweeping, there wasn't tickets for that. And then gradually, even though like a lot of these enforcement actions came back, relatively quickly, the one thing the city never started doing again was they never started booting cars. So the whole idea is if you rack up enough tickets, the repercussion you eventually face is you have your car booted and then towed. But they just never started booting the cars again. So basically folks were allowed to rack up, in some cases, like $40,000 in parking tickets. And there was some reporting that we did. There was some reporting that KSDK did about there being millions of dollars, $10 million actually, in outstanding parking fines owed to the city.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of lit a fire under the treasurer's office to, again, start booting cars, start towing. And yeah, in the past 12 weeks or so, the city's made $1 million off these parking fines coming in and off of cars that get towed and then not picked up, they get sold. The city's brought in about $250,000 doing that just over 12 weeks.
Amazing. It's just free money for the city that went, kind of to the wayside. Speaking of the law, the police board is going to hear from the public.
Yeah, that's happening Wednesday night. So the police board meets at least once a month, but these meetings, the public can come and watch, but they don't have a public comment period.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday's meeting is going to be the first one in a long time, I think about 8 months, since they've allowed the public to speak at one of their meetings. And I'm really curious to hear what the public has to say. I think 8 months ago, I don't know how many people were worried or thinking about the police board. It's since become one of the biggest topics in, local news. So I'm really curious who shows up and what they have to say.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. And then tell me about this. A couple of Missouri men were busted for selling fake weight loss drugs. Where was this?
Yeah, so this was in Jasper County, kind of in and around Joplin, another county too. And yeah, well, really, the reason that this caught my attention is some people know this, maybe they don't. Basically, if someone's like, let's say, dealing drugs, and then they use that drug money to buy a house or a car, whenever they get arrested for the drug dealing, the federal government often takes that house or takes that car. They call it asset forfeiture. It's controversial at times. But this was the first time I'd ever seen the feds come in and take someone's property, 4 houses and a Tesla and some other high-end cars. But the drug that they were selling was black market Ozempic. So it was really wild. And yeah, these guys made, 6-figure sums over I think it was, well over $1 million in a relatively short time. Basically, they would buy cheap generic Ozempic and other weight loss drugs from China and then sell it on, very good looking, sort of legitimate looking websites to a U.S. customer base. And they even got like a cease and desist letter from law enforcement. They ignored it. They kept doing what they were doing. So eventually the feds, it was specifically like the Postal Service, the sort of law enforcement arm of the Postal Service, who knew they had one of those. They showed up and, seized these guys, their homes and their cars, and said, you bought this property with illicitly gotten gains. We're going to take it from you. So, yeah, really wild to see this happen because of a, weight loss drug.
Well, if there's any silver lining, at least it was the real drug and not something dangerous. Anytime you hear about those kind of drugs, you start thinking about the stuff that can kill people.
I don't know. Yeah, Ryan, was this real stuff?
Well, that's hard to say. I mean, in theory, it should have been, right? But the fact is, it kind of came from like a sketchy, the suppliers for these guys were themselves kind of sketchy. One of the drugs is, it's like rutreatide. I'm not sure exactly how you put it. I'd never heard of it before, but it's not, and the FDA has not approved it for weight loss. I think it's approved in some other countries.
Okay.
So something would be labeled as one thing. It would actually be something else. Maybe not something dangerous, but I think there was a little bit of transparency concerns that people were actually injecting themselves with the stuff that they thought they were.
Yeah.
And I think the whole reason, these guys, they were selling this, quote unquote, Ozempic, whatever it was, for a fraction of the cost that someone would pay like at a pharmacy. So you do kind of wonder, where are those savings coming from?
It's Temu Ozempic, right?
Yeah, Temu Ozempic. Yeah, Alibaba, exactly.
If I may offer some background on your story, Jasper is the setting for the fictional story Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So there's a little, background for the story.
So Ryan,
I like it.
Will they serve time?
I don't know. It's hard to say. So they'd been arrested, but they actually hadn't been charged as of whenever I wrote that story, and I haven't checked back since. I mean, I'm sure the charges were coming, but basically everyone kind of found out about this whenever the federal government swooped in and started hauling off their stuff and locking the doors of these guys' own homes and saying that we're seizing this asset. So I mean, it's hard to say. This is really unprecedented, as far as I know, for someone to get busted for selling this particular type of drug. So who knows? I'm sure they've got a hefty fine coming their way, but jail time, I don't know. It's kind of we're in uncharted territory here.
Wow. Well, you can follow these stories and more of Ryan's reports online at stlmag.com. Ryan, keep up the great work.
Hey, I really appreciate it. You guys have a great day.
436, Captain Paul, how's traffic?
Heidi, we have one active accident. It's a crash on 70 west before Bermuda, blocking the two right lanes with the stop and go back up to Goodfellow. 270 south is heavy from Olive down to Manchester. 64 west jam between Kings Highway and McCausland. 44 is closed in both directions between the Musial Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge. That's due to a large sinkhole directly under 44 near the Dome. That has 70 east crowded between St. Louis Avenue and Tucker. And in Illinois, 64 east is slow between 111 and 157. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rockwood School District. Are you looking for a new part-time or full-time job opportunity? Consider Rockwood School District with openings for custodians, cafeteria workers, and groundskeepers with great benefits, competitive pay, and flexible hours. Apply online at rsdmo.org/jobs. That's rsdmo.org/jobs. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Galmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Galmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
Are you looking for a deck? I am. And you know who I turn to? Outdoor Living and Pat Leahy. They've been a sponsor for a long time, and they've done some other projects for me, but this one's the big one. It's going to have metal framing, composite decking, and when it's all said and done, he's going to put a 50-year warranty on it. Not because I'm his spokesperson for all these years, but because I am a customer. Outdoor Living takes care of St. Louis. So if you're looking for a deck that will survive the heat and the winter and the sun and everything else, Outdoor Living, Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood. Outdoor Living, or OutdoorLivingInc.com.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture and Mattress, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. We offer the largest selection of Amish-made furniture in the St. Louis area, plus quality living room furniture from Flex Steel and Smith Brothers. We carry top-quality mattresses from world-famous brands like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Chatham & Wells. Shop our Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, and Ellisville showrooms. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
Repairing chimneys, walkways, porches, foundations, entire homes, anything to do with brick or stone, you need a tuck pointer you can trust, and that, of course, is Morelli. Morelli is a family-run business started in 1991, and they're only as good as their last customer. That's why when you check out the reviews online at MorelliTuckPointing.com, you'll notice that they're actual customers who are singing the praises of Morelli. So if you need a tuck pointer, you need Morelli. 314-645-1387 or MorelliTuckPointing.com.
It's Julie Buck, along with Jeff Zufall, the senior tax strategist and wealth advisor at Capital Advisory Group, and of course the author of the #1 best-selling book on taxes called Keep What's Yours and Keeping What's Yours. Jeff, with the talk of the rising interest rates, now is the time for a tax strategy, don't you think?
Thanks, Julie. Since 1976, thousands of businesses have relied upon the tax reduction strategies provided by Capital Advisory Group to help them manage the effects of inflation and rising interest rates to keep more of what they earn. We're celebrating 50 years helping small businesses grow and thrive by minimizing the financial risk to their businesses, reducing their tax liability, and growing their wealth using strategic tax planning. The Fed is hinting that inflation and interest rates will continue to rise in the months ahead. If you're relying upon investment advice from someone who isn't familiar with your tax strategy, and you feel like you might be paying more than your fair share in taxes, we can help.
Give Capital Advisory Group a call at 636-394-5524, capitaladvisorygrp.com.
You know, that honey-do list isn't getting any shorter, and you got to make a dent into it. Can I recommend going somewhere to helping you out? Schnarr's Hardware. Schnarr's Hardware has 2 locations, one in Webster and one in Ladue. One great family, 2 great hardware stores. Schnarr's Hardware. When you walk in with that list, you say, okay, I think I know how to do this one, but these 3 I need help on. And you know what? The people behind the counter at Schnarr's Hardware, that's what they do best. They have the expertise, so they can help you with electrical, help you with plumbing, painting, really anything at Schnarr's Hardware. They're small, they're compact, but it's that friendly neighborhood hardware store that has been the way it's been here in America for years, right? You remember when your grandfather took you to the hardware store. That's Schnarr's Hardware. The popcorn and the advice are free. So when you go to Schnarr's Hardware, 2 locations in Webster and in Ladue. Don't forget about the website, schnarrshardware.com. So for all of your hardware needs and that honey-do list, Schnarr's Hardware or schnarrshardware.com.
If it's time to replace your windows and doors, choose Pella Windows and Doors of St. Louis. Pella's trusted local experts work in your area and within your budget, backed by the most preferred window and door brand by homeowners. For a limited time, get 20% off Pella projects. Call 833-87-PELLA or visit pella.com/radio. Restrictions apply. See site for details. Study of homeowner perceptions of leading national brands. Study commissioned by Pella 2023.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
We are the New York Knicks. We are the New York Knicks. Say go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. Say go New York.
Well, a lot happened in the world of sports this weekend. KTRS Sports Director Brendan Weezy is back to break it all down. We have a new NBA champion.
And the crazy thing is, Heidi, the Knicks led by double digits the Spurs led by double digits in every single game that they lost. In some cases, they led by that in the fourth quarter. I mean, they could have had a 5-game sweep if they played, if they could possibly do that, because it was in their wheelhouse for so many opportunities throughout this series, and yet they couldn't close the deal. They missed so many shots right around the bucket in crunch time, whether it was Wemby and his free throws, whether it was De'Aaron Fox, really like their rookie Dylan Harper, but it was
New York's
not meant
year.
to be. And it was absolutely right. Jalen Brunson with just a virtuoso performance in Game
Crazy.
5.
He's a
bad
Incredible.
man.
Yeah.
45 points. Again, for a guy that I've said this many times, the fact you think back, he and Luka Doncic were drafted by the same Dallas team, and Brunson was almost like the throw. And here's this guy from Villanova.
Yeah.
He's won a bunch in college. We're not sure he can do it in the NBA. Well, he has. He is a big game player. As he proved with Villanova a decade ago, and what he's proved now with the Knicks.
All right, the Stanley Cup playoffs also wrapped up.
And it feels like Carolina, they're in the mix a lot, but they hadn't won a Stanley Cup in a couple of decades. So to see them get it done, Vegas is also always seemingly in the mix. It was a great series. They played a couple of really classic games, but ultimately Carolina hoisting the cup. It feels a little anticlimactic with everything else going on, but they tie a bow around the NHL season.
We got to talk about Team USA. They came out strong in that opening match.
Absolutely. And if you set up a perfect blueprint for the Americans to when you raised the curtain on Friday night, that was exactly it. That is exactly what you wanted. Aggressive. The attack was generating opportunity after opportunity. They probably could have scored 6 or 7 goals by the time it was said and done. And Paraguay's a pretty good team, especially defensively. I mean, we had talked multiple times on the air. Some fears maybe that game could be like a scoreless tie. I mean, could the U.S. even get a goal? Well, they did more than that, and it was just an incredibly impressive opening performance.
And what's next for them?
So they'll get Australia Friday. That'll be a 2:00 game against the Aussies, and then they wrap up group play. Group play seemingly takes forever. They won't play Turkey for another week on Friday.
Little time to, though, get kind of healthy again, and because it is a rough sport.
Well, Christian Pulisic left at halftime, and I know they tried to press him on whether or not he thought he would be good to go against the Aussies.
It was kind of like kicked in the calf? Is that what it was?
Yeah, and he wouldn't guarantee that he'd play, but it sounded pretty good that he was going to be available for Friday.
All right, anything to update us on with the Cardinals?
Well, it was a disappointing weekend when you consider how much the Cardinal bats have really come alive. I think the way Chaim Bloom has injected this team with some youth and taken some chances, and I think Blaze Jordan really embodies taking a chance because he is not a prototypical, as we've talked about, third baseman. But he's come out, he's got 5 hits already, he's got a home run, a triple, hits with some power, doesn't strike out a lot. So far, so good. It lengthens the Cardinal lineup, but the bullpen's terrible. And the problem now is that we knew the middle and the guys that would pitch the fifth or sixth weren't necessarily very good. But now the fact Riley O'Brien might not be great, JoJo Romero not able to get all the lefties out that you'd like to see him retire. So there is a lot to be desired there. And I still think the Cardinals are a long shot to make the playoffs. And I think they'll be even more so if they can't get some answers. And here's the problem is usually when you contend, and we see the Cardinals do this a lot in the John Mozeliak and Waljockety years, is that you'd get to the deadline and you'd acquire multiple bullpen arms. This team is not in position to do that. So they will have to get creative with guys at AAA or guys in the rotation currently. They've utilized a 6-man rotation at times. How do you get the most bang for your buck out of the pitchers that you have right now? Because those are going to have to be the guys to get the job done from now until the end of the year.
What's coming up tonight?
We will dig in more soccer. Dale Schilly, who's the radio analyst for City SC, Academy Director. We're going to talk some soccer and World Cup with Dale. Eli Hoff, who is our resident Mizzou and World Cup guy. We'll talk some Mizzou and soccer with Eli. And that, of course, follows Frank and the Slickster, Andy Van Slyke, and the press box at 6 o'clock tonight. And then I'll be on with Martin over on Fox 2 tonight whenever they're on after their World Cup coverage.
All right. Well, we'll be listening and even watching this evening.
Thank you, Heidi. Appreciate it.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
Okay, you've decided you want to get away, you want to travel, you want to see the world. Let Altair Travel and Cruises handle all the details. You handle all the fun. You don't know where to stay. You don't have to worry about transfers. What about your luggage? What about a tour guide? You don't want a tour guide. Lewis and Clark had a tour guide. You're in a different country. You want to go see the Sistine Chapel. You're going to need a tour guide. Let Altair Travel handle all those details. You handle all the fun. 314-968-9600. Altair Travel or altairtravel.com.
Kuna Food Service has been the trusted food supplier in the Midwest since 1918. For over 100 years, Kuna Food Service has been distributing the highest quality food products to some of your favorite restaurants while delivering superior customer service. When a restaurant puts their trust in Kuna Food Service, they get a team that truly cares about their success. That's why at Kuna, they like to say, they're big enough to handle it, yet small enough to care. Check them out online at kunafoodservice.com.
Heard a great story about the window store the other day. Larry Thornton, the owner of the window store, 314-739-0002 or wswindow.net, told me a story. He had a customer call him up and say that he wanted to replace his white vinyl windows with darker windows. And so, of course, Larry took care of him. So now they're all darker and sort of brown in color. Looks beautiful. They're energy efficient. There was no upselling. They're great quality windows, and Larry Thornton and the window store took care of him. That's what he does. The price is extremely reasonable, better than the national companies because there aren't the layers of middle management. The window store has been around for 38 plus years. Proud sponsor here at the Big 550 KTRS. Windows, and don't forget about doors. Doors can get really expensive real fast. That's why you want to go with a company you can trust. Installation, price, selection, quality. The window store. Window store. wswindow.net. 314-739-0002. wswindow.net.
Discover how you can make lasting summer memories with a home equity line of credit from Royal Banks of Missouri. Whether you're envisioning a new backyard oasis or an unforgettable family getaway, you can enjoy peace of mind with flexible, convenient funding to turn your dreams into reality. Call 314-212-1500 or visit royalbanksofmo.com today to learn how you can apply for a home equity line of credit. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
9 minutes before 5 o'clock, Captain Paul, how's traffic?
Heidi, no accidents, just some slow traffic. 270 south is heavy from Olive down to Manchester. 270 north crowded between Manchester and 64. 64 west is jammed between Kings Highway and McCausland. 44 is closed in both directions between the Musial Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge due to a large sinkhole directly under 44 near the Dome. That has 70 east jammed between Grand and Branch and between St. Louis Avenue and Tucker. And in Illinois, 64 east is congested between 111 and 157. This traffic report is brought to you by the Quarry at Crystal Springs Golf Course. The Quarry at Crystal Springs delivers a convenient and affordable golf course that is a true test of any player's game. 4 sets of tees will allow players of all abilities to choose the course length that will best suit their enjoyment. Visit them today. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, we just talked sports with all the big events from the World Cup to the Knicks to last night's UFC fight at the White House. I mean, crowd control is at the top of most people's mind. Rich Frankel, former special agent in charge FBI, joins us with an inside look. I mean, how do you even begin to control what happened to the White House last night?
Yeah, Secret Service, I think, did a great job. The White House is probably the most secure location in the U.S., if not the world. And they let, I think it was 4,300 people onto the onto the White House. And there didn't seem to be any incident, any security concern. So it looks like they did a fantastic job there. And then they had thousands of people over on the Great Lawn also watching, and that's only, a few hundred yards away. And again, there appeared to be no security issues. So kudos to, Metro PD, Capitol Police, and the Secret Service for doing everything they did yesterday with the UFC fight.
And what kind of grade are you giving security on the World Cup?
I'm actually giving it an A right now. It seems that other than, a little, maybe a bit of drunkenness, maybe a fight here or two, there are so many games going on across the United States, and there has not been a major security incident or even a major security threat that has come out over the last 24 hours. I think they're doing a great job. They're staying focused on it. And I think they're even tightening it up more as we get into the games as you start getting into the semifinals and the finals. So they're doing real good. Really now, I just want hopefully the public will do the same thing. Maintain as calm as they can during the games, and hopefully maintain the calmness after the games. Hopefully not the issue that we saw in New York.
Yeah.
Past weekend.
Rich, what do you think? Is this just something that happens the night after big wins and people light cars on fire and then, nothing happens for the rest of the year like this? What's your take on what's going on in New York?
Yeah, one, there with all these new watch, parties that are taking place outside, that's causing, more security concerns because now you have these big, gatherings and no one's ready for them. But New York did a pretty good job. There were 68 arrests, yes, and there were some, major incidents. But, you got to remember there were probably over 100,000 people out on the streets of New York, during that time.
So true. Well, Rich, we always appreciate your insight on this because there's just so much to know and so many people to protect and only so many people to do it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Kind of a dry run for the Olympics, which is in 2028 out there in Los Angeles. And I never really thought about that. You get those big watch parties in Bryant Park or wherever. Well, now you gathered 1,000 people rather than just have people trickling out of local bars.
Yeah, and that is what you're going for, the big crowds. But being a big crowd does not excuse vandalism and violence.
Yeah,
it never does. It never does. But even
so
in
just
Canada,
act right.
Even in Vancouver, when Vancouver won in Canada, they politely lit cars on fire.
Yeah. Pardon me. Back up. I don't want you to get hurt.
Yeah.
I'm going to.
No
question about it.
All right. I've got a poll here. There is a 28-question average questionnaire that people give adults on financial security. How much do you know about your personal
Just give me an
finances?
F. I'll take the F.
The average has never surpassed 52% as a passing grade. However, this year's worst, 47% lowest in the last 10 years. Just puts an exclamation point on the fact that you can't do this by yourself. We are getting failing grades when it comes to personal finance, and so that's why you have someone like Jeff Zufall, Capital Advisory Group. Yes, he can do your taxes for you in March and April, but he can also help you out throughout the rest of the year doing your financial planning. Even when you go and do, a new roof or a new AC for the summer, you have to know what you're getting yourself into, and Jeff can help you figure out a plan. And when those rating days come, you'll be in a great position. Capital Advisory Group, 636-394-5524, capitaladvisorygrp.com.
All right, quitting time for a lot of people on this Monday afternoon. Maybe sit on a patio somewhere. But we have more to get to. We're going to talk to Bill Clevlen, who is now a travel writer, and he has his latest book, Presidential Road Trips, 100 Places to Explore and Experience the History of American Presidents. He'll share a few of his favorite places when we return after this quick break.
Right now, you can take advantage of Country Club Car Wash and their Summer Sparkler promotion. It's available now through Sunday, July 12th. Buy 2 Ultimate washes and get 2 free. That's a total of 4 Ultimate Exterior washes for only $52, or $92 gets you 4 Ultimate Exterior washes with interior cleaning. Available in-store and online at ccwstl.com/summer-sparkler. Country Club Car Wash. We'll see you there.
It's not your typical game day look. Sunday, June 28th at Busch Stadium, the Cardinals face the Miami Marlins, and fans can receive a soccer-style Cardinals jersey presented by Purina. Clean, sporty, and unmistakably Cardinals, it brings a fresh energy to the ballpark from first pitch on, and kids take home a vibrant Cardinals soccer ball to keep the action going long after the final out. 2 ways to play, one big Sunday. Get tickets at cardinals.com/promotions.
Every Sunday home game is a Kids Sunday at Busch Stadium. From Team Fred Birding games to a kid-friendly DJ, ice cream, and family-favorite activities. Sundays are built for young fans. Plus, select Sundays feature kids run the bases after the game. It's a day made for smiles, memories, and Cardinals baseball together. Make Sundays your family tradition at Busch Stadium. Tickets and details at cardinals.com/KidsSunday.
What does the Science Center, Lambert Airport, the Magic House, McDonnell Douglas, and St. Louis firehouses all have in common? They all trusted their roof to Beatty Roofing. Beatty Roofing has been in business for 70 years. They're not storm chasers. They're based right here in St. Louis, and they've been doing it right for 70-plus years. And if you need a roofer, Beatty Roofing. In fact, first responders get an extra 10% off all roofs. 314-892-1331 or online, BeattyRoofing.com.
Mike Lippert here for Lisi Lumber, a family-owned company that's been serving the area since 1872. You've heard McGraw mention our knowledgeable staff, excellent customer service, and the best of woods. We're now producing and delivering custom prefabricated trellises, pavilions, and pergolas. Union-made, union-delivered. Homeowners and do-it-yourselfers are going to love these. Got an idea? Send a sketch and some dimensions and we'll take care of the rest. For the best of woods and prefabricated outdoor dreams, call Lisi Lumber 234-0105 or LisiLumber.com.
Underway in the French Alps, President Trump and world leaders meeting for the first time since the Iran war broke out. President Trump telling reporters that the U.S. and Iran memo of understanding is signed digitally and will be finalized Friday. ABC's Karen Travers has more from Geneva, Switzerland.
The deal, according to the president, would reopen the Strait of Hormuz and lift the U.S. blockade on Iranian ports, a return to the status quo before the war. It opens a 60-day window to negotiate the end of the war and Iran's nuclear program.
President Trump, while meeting with France's leader today, says he thinks the U.S. can also bring an end to the war in Ukraine.
We had a very good conversation
yesterday with President Zelensky and President Putin, and I see maybe we can do something there. I really do. I think they're both open to it. So I'm gonna, now that this is finished, we're gonna be focusing on that, see if we can get that one done.
Following that call overnight, Russia launching a massive drone attack in Ukraine's capital. Ukrainian officials say striking a historic Christian monastery. Russia claimed without evidence that a U.S.-made Patriot air defense missile was responsible for the damage. In Missouri, federal aviation regulators are starting their investigation into Sunday's plane crash outside Kansas City. The pilot and 11 skydivers killed when the plane went down shortly after takeoff. NTSB Vice Chair Michael Graham talked about the FAA's decision in 2021 to adopt certain safety measures following a similar crash, including appropriate training, assurances of weight, and operational guidelines.
When you jump on an airliner, you expect a certain amount of safety with the great safety record airlines have. Any passenger plane operation should be afforded the same safety as that.
On Wall Street today, stocks ended up. You're listening to ABC News.
Julius Krasanik here, celebrating 54 years in this industry. My family owns Wholesale Siding Depot. That's WSDepot.com. Our seasoned customer service group has over 200 years of combined siding, window, and door experience. My grandson Elijah says,
Are you kidding me?
tired of companies that like to apply pressure to sell you high-priced fiberglass or wood windows? We offer the Anderson Fibrex family of windows in styles and colors, including black, at wholesale prices. What are you waiting for? We sell truckloads of siding, windows, and doors from CertainTeed, Anderson, Viwinco, Provia, and other major brands, all at wholesale prices, while offering a free contractor referral service for your expert installation needs. Keep it local, family, and professional. Visit WSDepot.com. That's WSDepot.com.
Get your tickets today for Stages in St. Louis for the 2026 season. This season is shaping up to be one of the best. They kick things off with the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. Then, of course, they have the timeless classic Guys and Dolls. And one of my personal all-time favorites, Come From Away. Make sure you get individual tickets or group tickets today. Season tickets are still available. For more information, visit stagesstlouis.org. That's stagesstlouis.org.
Good afternoon. It is 76 degrees at 5:03. I'm David Solomon, and here's what's happening. Interstate 44 in downtown St. Louis is expected to be closed in both directions for at least a week due to a large sinkhole. City officials say the sinkhole formed near the Dome at America Center Saturday morning following a 20-inch water main break. During a news conference yesterday, MoDOT area engineer Jennifer Wade explained why it's necessary to close the interstate.
Right now, that exposure is not severe, but the conditions on site have the potential to continue changing. Keeping traffic off the bridge above reduces vibration of the columns, preventing further exposure from developing. This effort alone takes time, and at this point, we are expecting the existing closure of I-44 downtown to last at least through the week. MoDOT closes any bridge where the department has structural concerns that have the potential to impact the traveling public. With this current repair plan in action, there is reason for optimism that the bridge will remain in good condition throughout the sinkhole repair work.
Detours are in place to help motorists navigate around the closure. Captain Paul Kopsky will have the latest on the traffic impact coming up in just a couple of minutes. St. Louis Metropolitan Police are asking parents to keep track of their children's whereabouts after a dozen teens were detained following a teen takeover in the downtown and downtown west neighborhoods Saturday night. 3 teens were taken into custody after police say they resisted arrest. Police spokesman Mitch McCoy says it's important for parents to know where their kids are going, which wasn't the case on Saturday night.
We found that many parents were being lied to by their kids. These were kids being kids. And so if you have the Find My iPhone, if you have Life 360 where you can check to see where your kids are, make sure you take some of those preventative steps. We know kids will be kids. But what we don't need is the influx of juvenile activity where we start having fights.
One parent was cited Saturday night for contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway is suing a seller of home cameras and baby monitors, accusing it of concealing ties to the Chinese military via its manufacturer. Hanaway is suing Lorex Corporation, which was originally owned by the Chinese manufacturer Dahua. The lawsuit filed in Jefferson County Circuit Court seeks strong remedies under the Missouri Merchandising Practices Act. This includes restitution of up to $1,000 for each consumer who was sold a Lorix camera over the past 5 years, damages exceeding $1.8 million, and injunctive relief barring continued illegal and false statements that misrepresent product security. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter No Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. Amazon has announced it is investing $10 billion to build a new data center campus in Montgomery City. Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe says in a statement that the project will create 400 direct jobs and generate hundreds of millions of dollars in tax revenue over the next 25 years. And Anheuser-Busch is investing $20 million into its St. Louis headquarters and other area facilities. The money will go towards brewery and packaging equipment to support production of Michelob Ultra and other fast-growing brands. The brewer will also invest in a new local technical skills training center at its Soulard headquarters, which will focus on building and enhancing skills for early career operators and technicians. Let's take a look now at the closing markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. The Dow closed up 468 points at 51,671. The Nasdaq up 795 points to 26,683. And S&P 500 closed up 122 points to 7,554. KTRS News Time is 5:07. Paul Kopsky is at the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk with a look at the latest in the world of sports.
David Dustin May takes the mound for the Cardinals as they come off a 3-3 road trip to open a 3-game series against the San Diego Padres tonight at Busch. Listen in for the CarShield Sportsplex Summer of Soccer updates throughout the day here on the Big 550, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri and Regazzi's. And Mizzou football has lost out on a possible class of 2027 recruit. 3-star linebacker Caleb Green, the brother of current Tiger Caden Green, has flipped his commitment to Nebraska after a weekend visit to Lincoln. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. A crash on 44 West at Williams is causing stop-and-go traffic back to Antire. There's an accident on 44 East at Lafayette blocking the 2 right lanes. 270 South is heavy from Olive down to Manchester. 270 North crowded between Manchester and 64. 64 West is jammed between Kings Highway and McCausland. 64 East bogs down at 170. 44 is closed in both directions between the Musial Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge due to a large sinkhole directly under 44 near the Dome. That has 70 East slow between Grand and Branch and between St. Louis Avenue and Tucker. And in Illinois, 64 East is congested between 111 and 157. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rack House in Cottleville. Stop by for brunch or happy hour, or have the Rack House cater your next event with box lunches or buffets to accommodate groups of 10 to 200 people. The Rack House, featuring a seasonal menu and upscale casual dining and drinks since 2014. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
And in your KTRS First Alert forecast, expect mostly clear skies tonight with a low around 61. Increasing clouds with a chance of scattered afternoon showers with a high near 80 tomorrow. Winds could gust up to 23 miles per hour. And tomorrow night, slight chance of an early evening shower, then partly cloudy with a low around 63. It's 76 degrees at 5:09. I'm David Solomon, KTRS News on the Talk of St. Louis.
You know, that honey-do list isn't getting any shorter, and you got to make a dent into it. Can I recommend going somewhere to helping you out? Schnarr's Hardware. Schnarr's Hardware has 2 locations, one in Webster and one in Ladue. One great family, 2 great hardware stores. Schnarr's Hardware. When you walk in with that list, you say, okay, I think I know how to do this one, but these 3 I need help on. And you know what? The people behind the counter at Schnarr's Hardware, that's what they do best. They have the expertise, so they can help you with electrical, help you with plumbing, painting, really anything at Schnarr's Hardware. They're small, they're compact, but it's that friendly neighborhood hardware store that has been the way it's been here in America for years, right? You remember when your grandfather took you to the hardware store. That's Schnarr's Hardware. The popcorn and the advice are free. So when you go to Schnarr's Hardware, 2 locations in Webster and in Ladue. Don't forget about the website, schnarrshardware.com. So for all of your hardware needs and that honey-do list, Schnarr's Hardware, or schnarrshardware.com.
Summer has a way of bringing people together. Backyard barbecues, open patios, sunlight filling your favorite rooms. It's the season when your home takes center stage. And if your windows or doors are showing their age, there's never been a better time to refresh the spaces you enjoy most. Imagine more natural light in your favorite rooms, a patio door that glides effortlessly, and a home that's ready for everything summer brings. That's the difference beautifully crafted replacement windows and doors can make, adding comfort, style, and lasting value to the place you love most. Right now, buy one window or door and get one window or door 40% off. Call now to see how affordable summer comfort and style can be with flexible financing options available. From the moment you schedule your appointment, you'll experience the attention to detail and world-class service that's helped make Renewal by Andersen one of the most trusted names in home improvement. Schedule your free window and door diagnosis by June 30th. Call 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyandersen.com today. Renewal by Andersen. Superior products, exceptional service.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
At one point, you could hear him right here on the Big 550. But Bill Clevlen is also a travel journalist, author of 8 travel books, including his latest one, Presidential Road Trips, 100 Places to Explore and Experience the History of American Presidents. It is so great to see you again, and thanks for making time for us.
No, my gosh, my pleasure. It's good to be here. And yeah, we weren't allowed in this nice studio when I worked here. They say you stay out of that. You go down to the homeless shelter down the hall.
Yeah, we call that the Carney homeless shelter.
Yes, well, it's good people in there. But I don't have headphones on, but were you playing Hail to the Chief?
Yes. Of course we were.
So one of the things I learned doing this book is, so James Polk was a president from Tennessee, and I don't think he was much taller than I am. So he was maybe like 5'7", 5'8", and not a very imposing person, not very charismatic. And I tell folks that when James Polk would walk into a room, nobody cared. Even as president. And this absolutely drove his wife crazy. Her name was Sarah Polk. And so Sarah Polk, as the first lady, she got together with the U.S. military band, and she said, look, I need you all to play some kind of music when my husband walks into a room.
You are
because
kidding.
No one would pay attention to him. Nobody cared. And so they came up with that little ditty there and turned it into, as you know, Hail to the Chief. And now, so that's how kind of how it got started. How about that?
I'm sure this is just one of the many fun facts that we will learn in your book. I mean, we have the Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum just down the road in Springfield, Illinois. I love it. What do you like about it?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, Heidi. I'm speaking there next week.
Are
at
you?
the Lincoln Presidential Library.
See how I did that?
That's what I like about it, yeah. No, I love it. And I think they have now on display there, I'll know for sure, but like the like documents from the Emancipation Proclamation.
It's amazing how those exhibits change. Once when I was over there, one of his top hats was there.
Yes.
So it is so very cool. Do you have a favorite exhibit or artifact that you've seen in your travels that you're just like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe?
Well, I'll tell you, so over the course of a decade, a little more than a decade, I've gone to every presidential library. I think every presidential home except for like 2 or 3. And the one thing that got me started on this kind of presidential trivia, if you will, kick, was I went to the Ford Presidential Library in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And I just started. I didn't know what the heck presidential libraries were or any of this stuff. But I'm in there, and I'm looking around, whatever. And then there's this little display box. And I look in, and they got these little, like some kind of little contraption, and it's like some couple of chapstick tubes and some wire. And I'm like, what the heck is this? And on the description, these are tools that were used in the Watergate break-in.
Oh.
No. And I just thought, who is saving this crap? And so that kind of got me thinking, well, what do the other places have? If they're saving this, And it just kind of got my brain going. So now, like I said, I've been covering travel in some form since 2013 with my website and so on. And so whenever a presidential thing is nearby, I'll stop, pull off the road, and go see it. And so so I think that's kind of like the first
cool one.
quirky thing that I saw. And so
I was reading the notes, and that talk about.
You guys have notes here?
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't used to that either.
We're
when I was here.
We're semi-professional. Semi-professional. The Thomas Jefferson bed. Tell that story, because you were kind of touched by it, moved by it.
Well, I mean, it's just amazing to see when you go through Monticello in Charlottesville. You see the bed. I can't remember the year that he died, but it was July 4th. And to just be there standing there next to the bed, it's crazy. There's another one in upstate New York where Ulysses S. Grant lived the last 5 years of his life. And you walk into this cottage. He found a home. This sounds kind of sad, but he found a place to die, essentially. Mm-hmm. And he knew he just had about 5-6 weeks or so left to live. Finished his memoirs so that his family would have some financial help after he would pass away. But so he had throat cancer and he couldn't sleep on a regular bed. So they propped up these 2 leather chairs in the middle of this house, very modest cottage, and you walk in and you're standing right next to the leather chairs where and so it's really neat. So many of these places have just stuff that I always tell people, like American history lessons. You have to actually go to these places, and so that's kind of what I'm doing with this.
And they're spread out. There's probably a lot in Ohio, so you could go to Ohio and get 40 chapters out of Ohio. But I'm curious. This current president, 2 non-consecutive terms, second time that's ever happened. Where will his presidential house visit be? Will it be Trump Tower? Will it be Mar-a-Lago? You can't really go in there.
So the last president to donate I say donate, I guess you're essentially donating your home to the National Park Service is Jimmy Carter. So his home will be open in a couple of years. They're working on it now, so folks can go through.
The Peanut Farm in Georgia.
Yes, in Plains, Georgia. But after Carter, I don't really see any president giving away their mansions to I think those days are over, to be honest with you. And who knows, maybe 100 years from now. But so Carter's. I think that'll be the last one.
Have you gone to Obama's museum yet?
So it opens, I think, next week
to the public.
They've had some press previews and things like that. I'll go in August, I think. I have to keep my passport, up to date, since I've been to all the other ones. I have to go.
Absolutely.
To the Obama one.
Speaking, Harry S. Truman, his museum is in Independence. I've never been there. Is it worth the trip?
Oh my gosh! Actually, that's one of the better ones, because about 5 years ago, I lose track of time. 4 or 5 years ago, they pumped millions into that place, and I thought it was cool before, even the old school exhibits and just reading off of panels and stuff. But it's interactive now, and it's awesome. I'll tell you one thing that's really crazy to see at the Truman Museum. They obviously have exhibits on World War II and whatever. And kind of similar to the Watergate tools, they had this display, and they had the little, I don't know what it's called, but basically the little thing you pull out of the atomic bomb to tick, tick, tick. They have it there. The little, I'm making hand gestures, nobody can see me, but it's a real small little deal that comes out of the bomb, and then obviously they drop it down, and they have that there. And I just thought, holy moly!
Of all the presidential libraries and museums, which one impressed you the most?
Well, I mean, aesthetically, JFK's library is beautiful in Boston. It's just got this beautiful all-glass atrium with this huge American flag coming down. That's really cool. Reagan's is really awesome.
An airplane in it, right?
Reagan's got in it. Can you walk on the airplane?
You can. So there's 2 retired Air Force One planes that exist, and one of them is at the Reagan Library. It's not suspended from the ceiling, but it's made to look that way. And so, you go through the plane, and you're looking at this beautiful view of Simi Valley, California, and that's visually, that's one of the better ones for sure.
Very cool.
So, 8th book? This is your 8th book.
Who's counting?
Presidential road trips, okay. But as a travel writer, you've probably got more than one project going on at a time, at least in your head. Is that true?
I like people to think that. So good. I'm glad that's working.
It's really percolating every day.
Yeah, I do. And to be honest, I don't particularly love writing books. What I do enjoy is getting to do presentations. So like I have one coming up, I have 2 of them coming up this week in the St. Louis area. For me, that's why I write the books, because I get to put together these like hour-long presentations with video, and I share stories and all that sort of thing. But the avenue to get there is you have to have a book, you know.
Yeah.
And so yeah. But no, to answer your question, yes, I'm always thinking of something else. My next book is already written; it's ready to go. So I'm actually thinking on the following one.
Nice.
What is your next one going to be about?
There's a lot of
Can
questions
you
here in
tease
this.
a little bit?
It's called an interview, Bill.
I'm not used to that. It is on. I've not told anybody this, so
we'll break it right here.
Breaking news.
It's about the history of fast food restaurants.
Yes.
Oh, I like
And
it.
I did it as sort of a just kind of a goof. I thought, it'll be. And I'm telling you, as I wrote it and I did the research and was looking at it, the stories are tremendous. Like you don't even know. Like it was so cool to read about all of these. People who essentially risked everything for the most part for their business, and how they started out, and I mean gas stations and garages and just tiny little whatever, and then you look at them now, and so it was really fun to write. But that'll come out probably either end of this year or early next year.
Are there a lot of the original first locations still out there?
So I profiled 50, and if I had to guess, there's probably 30 of the 50 where you can actually
Very
go
cool.
and see where they started.
You are from Southern California. You spent a lot of time in Southern
Well, I'm
California.
not. I'm from here, but my parents divorced when I was pretty young, so I split my time.
You went
between
to school
California.
out there.
I went to
Yeah.
high school out there.
High school.
Yes. So don't ask me where I went to high school.
I won't.
It won't make any. My answer won't make any sense to you.
Is the original McDonald's still there?
So part of it is there. Yeah, so it's on Route 66. It's in San Bernardino, California. And what's really cool about that building is they've turned it into a little museum. And the McDonald's Corporation has nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
But some guy bought it and owns it. And so when you walk in, it is this like bizarre collection of like every Happy Meal toy that has ever been made.
Oh, that's cool.
They've got like, an original like French fry machine or fryer or whatever. And just interesting little quirky things. But it's cool. It's right on Route 66. And yeah, neat to see that history. The oldest McDonald's is in I can't remember what name. I forgot the name of the town. It's not far away.
What state?
It's in California.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And like the third franchised one is still there, and it's cool. They still serve like the original fried apple pies too.
Oh man! Once you get past the third-degree burns, they were awesome.
They're so good. They're so good.
So, all these are really interesting trips. Do you do stuff and just in your travel writing that everybody does? Like Heidi went on a trip. Now, not everybody does what Heidi did, but a road trip through South Dakota and Wyoming and all the way to Washington. Do you do stuff that like normal? If you're going to do this normal thing, go here, don't go here.
Yeah, I mean, I like to, I try my best to come off as just an ordinary person when I do my writing. I don't know if I'm working good at accomplishing that or not, but so I do that stuff. The first road trip that I took after I sold my home in the St. Louis area, this was 2022, was 262 days in a row of just I'll just do whatever I want. And I went. I mean,
Did you have it mapped out, or you just roamed?
No, but a little bit. I have to plan a little bit, but no, I bet 32, 33 states, went all the way down through the Carolinas, all the way through Florida, the Mississippi Gulf Coast, out to California, up to Washington, Idaho. I did all of it. It was
so
great.
You still enjoy traveling and writing about it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. In fact, I was telling you before we went on the air that, I have friends, because I do occasionally go, I don't know how much longer I'll do this. And my closest friends say, I swear to God, if you ever stop doing this, because, they're all married with kids and have responsibilities.
And they're living vicariously.
And they're living through me,
Yeah, we're talking to Bill Clevlen, who has written yet another great book, Presidential Road Trips, 100 Places to Explore and Experience the History of American Presidents. And this is more than just presidential museums and libraries. What other kind of places are you stopping at and writing about?
So if folks come to the presentation that I'll do at the one at the History Museum tomorrow at 11 in Forest Park, and then I have one
Merrimack Valley Branch.
Yeah, St. Louis County Public Library.
That's coming up Thursday, 6:30.
Yeah. Thank you, because I don't really know.
I saw your list, and it's so long. I'll help you.
No, it's great. So that one's coming up Thursday night. That'll be great. But what I do is for an hour, I share fun stories, but then I also give people these little ideas of where they can go and really give them reasons why they should go and see this stuff. And I will tell you, it's very gratifying because at the end, and I've been doing this now since January, I started on the West Coast. So I've talked about this to a lot of audiences, and it never fails. At the end, people come up and be like, man, I want to hop in the car now and go see this stuff. And the other thing is a lot of people don't even realize these things exist, you know?
So you're driving around all over the country, and as you told Heidi, not really a plan. Like, are you stopping at every historical marker? Are you seeing
Nobody wants to drive with me because I'm always pulling off the road.
Is that true? You're stopping all the time.
You know, it's funny. I don't know if my dad's listening. He's down in the country today. I don't know if he's had a chance to listen, but he'll laugh at this. But so my dad used to travel with me. He doesn't as much anymore, but he would go on road trips with me, and of course I got to. Oh, hey, there's a bronze sign there. I got to. It says such and such happened in 1850. I don't know what it is. We got to see. And he'd be like, oh, for God's sakes. But or like, oh, it's the world's largest whatever. I got to stop and rolling his eyes. But once you get out of the car, you're like, no, that's pretty cool. Can you take a picture of me by there? So once you actually do it, it's totally worth it. Yeah.
Is there one place in this new book that people are like, what? I didn't even know this was a thing. I mean, obviously people know about Mount Rushmore, and what's one that people are like, okay, this is amazing. I had no idea it existed, and I'm going to see it.
Well, we talked about Air Force One. I mentioned there were two of them that are retired. The other one is at a really cool museum, and you have to understand, I have been to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of museums.
Some good and some not so.
But I have a list of, like my top 10 I've got. So in that top 10 is a museum in Dayton, Ohio. It is the U.S. Air Force Museum. And I don't know if anybody in here has been there. It is unbelievable. And I
go to Dayton every year. I need to go.
And you didn't know this existed, did you?
No.
Oh, my gosh. So it's free to get in. It's huge. You bring comfortable shoes. It will take you an entire day to go through. But they have a presidential hangar. And it's, I think, eight or nine different presidential aircraft. So one that Eisenhower used, one that FDR used, and they have the Air Force One that was used by, I think it's 8 different presidents, including John F. Kennedy. It brought his body back from Dallas. It was a plane where Lyndon Johnson was, sworn in on the plane.
Yeah, Jackie.
And you walk through it.
Yeah.
You walk through it, and it's wild.
Wow.
And you also expect a lot more. We've seen all the movies, and you're like, this is Air Force One. This is the plane. But it is still cool to be part of that history.
And the vice president doesn't necessarily fly on Air Force Two.
So technically, any plane that the president is on is called Air Force One. So, yeah, that's all I know about that.
Okay.
So here's a question. I told Heidi to avoid it at all costs, and she did sort of.
Okay.
What's your position on Wall Drug in South Dakota? Have you been?
I assume you've been.
I think it's the biggest tourist trap in the history of tourist traps.
Bob hates it.
You hate it. Oh,
it was brutal.
I know they sold the very first book that I wrote, so I got to give them a little
there you go.
However,
is that right? That's good.
It's cheesy, but so what? Like, first of all,
it's what it's supposed to be, right?
I dated a girl in South Dakota. Josh might remember this. It's been a long time ago. But so I spent a lot of time in South Dakota, and that drive, if you're coming from, the one side of the state to the other down where she lives in a little town called Custer, near Rapid City, and it's a 6-hour drive, and it's cool for like the first hour and a half. You're like, wow, I feel like I'm on another planet, and then you're like, oh, but I still have 5 more hours of this. So it's nice to have those little kitschy things. Is it the Corn Palace? Did you go to the Corn Palace?
I've been to the Corn Palace.
I love the Corn Palace.
The Corn Palace is cool,
but just not Wall Drug.
It's not Wall Drug.
It's a big store, is what it is.
Yeah.
Bill, what are your books about? Run through the first 7.
Oh dear God. The first one I did was called 100 Things to Do in America Before You Die.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sounds morbid, but it's fun.
It's good.
Right? It's like a bucket list item. of things to do in the United States. Some of the others, I have one called The Ultimate American Music Bucket List. And I basically went to all of the music sites in the country, like recording studios and, to where statues of musicians are and their homes. And
Okay.
so that's a fun
My ears
one.
are perked up.
I have one called Finding the American Dream, which is all about people who came from nothing and became huge successes. So everybody from Tina Turner to Mark Twain to Thomas Edison. And then it's a travel book. I show you like how to go to their homes and their museums and things like that. So, but yeah, so the presidential road trips, that's my newest one. And then I have a children's book also that goes along with it. And it's called Funny Presidents. And so what I did was I took like 30 different quirky stories, things that just weird stuff presidents have done over or just things that people might not know, like that George Washington was a phenomenal dancer, So there's an image of him like on the dance floor, like John Travolta. Abraham Lincoln was a very good wrestler.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that. So I put these little funny things in there. And so it's cool for kids, like to introduce them to American presidents without getting heavy into history or politics, and that sort of thing.
By the way, a couple people, OMG, good to hear Bill again. How can I follow him?
Is that my mom?
Joe W.
Oh, okay.
Are you on Instagram, Facebook that people can follow?
Facebook's the one I keep up with the most. Yeah, it's just Bill on the Road on Facebook. I'm sure I have the others, but I don't update them. I don't know what the password is.
Exactly. Somebody else says, thanks for having him. Used to love listening to him on the Frank Opinion Show. So thank you.
That's nice.
Bill's latest book, Presidential Road Trips, is now available. It's on your website.
Yeah, and it's on Amazon. Folks can have it. I'll have copies for anybody that comes out at the History Museum tomorrow at 11, and then at the
Merrimack Valley branch of the St. Louis County Library
You do
Thursday.
a better job than I do.
It
Yeah.
starts at 6:30, and if you don't find it on Amazon, you can check out all his books at BillOnTheRoad.com. Thank you so much for coming by, and when you get that next number 9 out, swing back by and we'll talk about
I
it.
will. It's good to see you guys. Thanks for letting me in the big boy studio here, the adult studio.
You finally
Never been in
made it,
here.
Bill.
Yeah.
It's lurking in your basement, over there in the corner. Or it could be mold and mildew, or even that musty smell. All signs of water entering your basement and causing damage to your most expensive investment, your home. When you suspect water damage, use the hometown waterproofing experts at Permajack of St. Louis. Permajack provides permanent solutions to all your nagging water problems. Whether it's a simple crack repair, perimeter drainage system, waterproof wall panels, exterior waterproofing, or even installing a sump pump, Permajack of St. Louis does it, and they do it right. After all, Permajack is the company St. Louis has trusted for almost 50 years. If you've noticed water in your basement, contact us for a free inspection, system design, and estimate at permajackofstlewis.com. That's permajackofstlewis.com. Permajack, foundation repair and waterproofing. Done right.
Don't miss the summer sale going on all month long at Appliance Discounters. Come in today and save, and they'll deliver it tomorrow. Savings up to 60% off select models. In addition to their sales prices, Appliance Discounters is having huge factory rebates on select models. They have a 50,000 square foot warehouse full of savings. Just come by one of their 6 showrooms and they'll show you why they're called the Appliance Discounters. Appliance Discounters with 6 locations or online at theappliancediscounters.com.
All eyes will be on Mizzou men's basketball this year, with one of the nation's top recruiting classes coming to the Zoo. You don't want to be watching from the couch while Mizzou Arena is rocking, so grab your black and gold and experience it. Go to mutigers.com/MBBTIX to get your name on the season ticket request list for next season. Don't wait. Visit mutigers.com/MBBTIX today. MIZ.
I'm Reed Millard, president of Lupton Millard Chapel of St. Louis. We've been faithfully serving St. Louis families for generations. At Lupton Millard Chapel, we understand it's the little things that make a big difference for the families we serve. A traditional church funeral or a unique celebration of life. Providing the finest in services and attention to detail has always been the hallmark of our family.
Lupton Millard Chapel, the leader in excellence since 1905. For more information, go to LuptonMillardChapel.com.
When you pay for tree work, you want to be sure you're getting the most for your hard-earned money. That's why you should always use the ISA certified arborist at River City Tree Service in Baldwin, Missouri. Hi, I'm Steve with River City Tree Service, and we've been the go-to tree service since 2008. Tree removal, tree trimming, storm damage, deadwood removal, stump grinding, and more. Give River City Tree Service a call for all your tree service needs at 314-270-8071. That's 314-270-8071. River City Tree Service.
St. Louis is a city, but let's face it, it's also a small town, and we all know it, especially Indoor Comfort Team. Since their beginning in 1979, Indoor Comfort Team Heating and Air Conditioning has served their neighbors with old-school honesty and integrity, fair and common sense pricing, and fast, reliable service with real human support. When you call them, whether you need a second opinion or a whole new HVAC system, you get a real human being on the other line. No AI, no robot answer machines. From HVAC installations to repairs, even water heaters, Indoor Comfort Team will take care of you. And with summer already upon us, maybe it's time to get that air conditioner checked out. Indoor Comfort Team takes care of our community because they're part of our community. Check them out today at indoorcomfortteam.com. You can also call them at 314-894-8200.
Do you have the option to control your cash flow and wealth? Are you getting a return on your greatest asset, your lifetime and potential generational income? Overcome these critical financial planning challenges by discovering the control option mindset featuring the lifetime and generational income maximizer. Call Mark Benson and his team at the Control Option at 314-432-9540 or online at thecontroloptionmindset.com.
You know, all of the places that Bill just talked about, Altair Travel can help you get there. You could do a whole history trip, and they'll kind of help you mark it out. They have their flights that they can help you book, and kind of places then to rent a car and get to the next spot. Or maybe you just want to go down under altogether. Maybe you want to go to Australia. Maybe you want to go to London. Altair Travel and Cruises can help you go wherever you want to go. The best thing about it is they take those headaches away and just help you create those fantastic memories. Whether it's the flight, the hotel, the all-inclusive resort, they can help you do it all. And they can even save you a little bit of money because they have so many partnerships with different locations, and they know the best time to book that flight. So before you travel or you start to book that travel, call altairtravel.com. 314-968-9600 is the number, or go to their website because they've got all kinds of featured destinations. They've got great deals on some destinations. altairtravel.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
It is 5:38. We got to check back in with Captain Paul, see how traffic's moving.
Heidi, we have two crashes that have just cleared. One on 44 West at Williams with residual congestion back past Antire. An accident on 44 East at Lafayette has also been cleared. 44 is closed in both directions between the Museo Bridge and Poplar Street Bridge. That due to the large sinkhole directly under 44 near the Dome. That has 70 East jam between Grand and Branch and between St. Louis Avenue and Tucker. 270 South is heavy from Page down to Manchester. 270 North crowded between Manchester and 64. 64 West is jammed between Kings Highway and McCausland. 64 East heavy from Lindbergh all the way to McCausland. And in Illinois, 64 East congested between 111 and 157. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rockwood School District. Are you looking for a new part-time or full-time job opportunity? Consider Rockwood School District with openings for custodians, cafeteria workers, and groundskeepers with great benefits, competitive pay, and flexible hours. Apply online at rsdmo.org/jobs. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Ready, go! For the USA! He has done it! What a goal!
It's time for a CarShield Sportsplex 2026 Summer of Soccer Update. Presented by Royal Banks of Missouri and Ragazzi's.
Well, we've had a couple of draws this afternoon, but make no mistake about it, very exciting action here on Day 5 of the World Cup. And again, headline, Spain and Cape Verde, the debutante this afternoon, playing to a 0-0 draw. A lot of scoring opportunities in the final few moments, but ultimately the pre-tournament favorite Spain has to settle for that opening draw. Also, Belgium and Egypt, maybe a mild surprise in Group G, 1-1 draw. Going on right now, Group H, Saudi Arabia and Uruguay, they are just underway in the first half. And then in Group G tonight, 8 o'clock, it's Iran and New Zealand. This CarShield Sportsplex Summer of Soccer update presented by Royal Banks of Missouri and Ragazzi's. Also brought to you by HW Kia, WS Window and Door, Fisher and Fritchell Homes, and Gingham's Restaurant on the Big 550.
Ragazzi's, the oldest Italian-American restaurant on the hill, is your World Cup headquarters. Streaming every World Cup match live on all new TVs. Come watch a game and hold our own trophy, the world-famous 32-ounce Ragazzi's Fish Bowl. All your classic Italian favorites served with flavor and hospitality that generations have loved. And during U.S. games, when the U.S. scores, you score a free order of their famous toasted ravioli. Must be present to redeem. Make your plans to catch all the World Cup action this summer at Ragazzi's.
Every great sports story starts somewhere. Maybe it's a game-winning goal on a Saturday morning, a breakaway with seconds left, the wins, the losses, the love of the game. Now those moments have a new home. The CarShield Sportsplex is bringing together youth soccer, youth hockey, and a place for athletes of all ages to play, compete, and grow. From first practices to championship dreams, the CarShield Sportsplex is built for the next generation of athletes. Visit CarShieldSportsplex.com for more information.
Worldwide Technology Raceway is the only track in America to host a NASCAR event, an IndyCar event, and an NHRA event. The Raceway features a full schedule on their drag strip, oval track, and Gateway Kartplex. For full schedule and ticket info, go online to WWTRaceway.com. The track, under the leadership of owner Curtis Francois, continues to upgrade the race experience for fans who come from around the country. For tickets, go to WWTRaceway.com.
That's WWTRaceway.com.
Summer has a way of bringing people together. Backyard barbecues, open patios, sunlight filling your favorite rooms. It's the season when your home takes center stage. And if your windows or doors are showing their age, there's never been a better time to refresh the spaces you enjoy most. Imagine more natural light in your favorite rooms, a patio door that glides effortlessly, and a home that's ready for everything summer brings. That's the difference beautifully crafted replacement windows and doors can make, adding comfort, style, and lasting value to the place you love most. Right now, buy one window or door and get one window or door 40% off. Call now to see how affordable summer comfort and style can be with flexible financing options available. From the moment you schedule your appointment, you'll experience the attention to detail and world-class service that's helped make Renewal by Andersen one of the most trusted names in home improvement. Schedule your free window and door diagnosis by June 30th. Call 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyandersen.com today. Renewal by Andersen. Superior products, exceptional service.
Julius Krasanik here, celebrating 54 years in this industry. My family owns Wholesale Siding Depot. That's WSDepot.com. Our seasoned customer service group has over 200 years of combined siding, window, and door experience. My grandson Elijah says,
"Are you kidding me?"
Tired of companies that like to apply pressure to sell you high-priced fiberglass or wood windows? We offer the Andersen Fibrex family of windows in styles and colors, including black, at wholesale prices. What are you waiting for? We sell truckloads of siding, windows, and doors from CertainTeed, Andersen, Viwinco, Provia, and other major brands, all at wholesale prices, while offering a free contractor referral service for your expert installation needs. Keep it local, family, and professional. Visit WSDepot.com. That's WSDepot.com.
I have a couple people on the text line asking about Bill and where he will be, and he will be at the Merrimack Valley branch of the St. Louis County Library this Thursday at 6:30, talking about his new book, Presidential Road Trips, 100 Places to Explore and Experience the History of American Presidents. You know, they do all kinds of author events all the time, but that's just one of the many things that the St. Louis County Library does. You'll find your favorite book or your next new favorite book at so many of the branches. But you also got the Emerson History and Genealogy Center. You've got the Teen Creative Lab, and you've got the Library of Things where you can check out your next new thing. I'm talking GoPro cameras. Maybe if you're going down to the lake and you want to show off some of your water skiing skills, or binoculars. Maybe you're bird watching, but you don't want to spend all that money on a great pair of binoculars. You'll find it at the Library of Things. You can learn more, see those author events and everything else at slcl.org. Let's talk a little entertainment news. Disclosure Day won the box office with $44 million in their opening weekend. Did you get a chance to see it, or did you skip it? Okay. Michael has officially dethroned Bohemian Rhapsody as the highest grossing music biopic. I've yet to see that one. We'll probably do that streaming, I think. And there's a biopic in the works about John Fogerty from Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Oh, what grumpy sourpuss are they going to get to play John Fogerty?
Now, I'm sure there will eventually be a biopic about Rod Stewart, but today I'm mentioning him because he canceled a show in San Diego Friday night, but then jetted off to Boston for Scotland's World Cup game against Heidi on Saturday. He even posted video from his private jet during the trip, and fans are not happy. If you had a ticket to that, if you had traveled to see him, and all of a sudden he canceled to go see his team in the World Cup.
Hey, it's football.
He should have known further ahead of
Well,
time
that's what I'm saying,
that
yes.
this game was scheduled here. If you're a fan of Rod Stewart, you know he's crazy about soccer, crazy about Scotland. But it is really terrible thing to do to your fans.
Yeah.
I think so, too. The Rock, however, is pretty good to his fans, and he has a great sense of humor. He invited a woman and her family to the Moana premiere after he saw a video where she is joking and kind of poking at him about selling hair care products. As you know, The Rock is bald.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
But Maui's got a great head of hair.
Yes, of course. Joan Cusack stepped away from Hollywood for several years to raise her kids in Chicago and live life as a normal person. She says it's kind of priceless. So
She's terrific. She's very good.
She is. And you kind of got to tip a cap to her for stepping away and raising her children, making her family come first.
She's the voice of Jessie in Toy Story. So
Yeah.
she's been back to do those every once in a while.
Zoe Kravitz and Harry Styles will be connected forever. She shared a teaser of her forthcoming British Vogue cover on Instagram. Of course, fans quickly spotted a secret nod to her fiance, Harry Styles. It's a black and white pic of Kravitz's back, which is covered in various different tattoos, but there's tiny 3-letter message stood out, "Let it rip." Fans noticed that Harry had inked the same phrase on the back of his right arm above a palm tree, so now they are going to be tied together forever, inked up. Let's stick with the love theme. Travis Kelce jetted from mini camp in Kansas City to New York City last Thursday to see Taylor Swift get inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame, the youngest person to ever do so. Mariska Hargitay, on the other hand, says that Crazy Nick's comeback win last week might top her wedding as the best night of her life.
She was into it. She was really into it.
sweaty. She looked like she was on the court for a second. She said, "I love my husband, and our wedding night was great and all, but I think it might have been the greatest night of my life watching that Knicks comeback."
That's cool that she's can let it all go and just be a fan.
Absolutely. Dolly Parton, I mean, she's more than a fan. She's more than a singer. She's more than an actress. Just released her own coffee brand, which, of course, has to be called Cup of Ambition. It'll come out first at her Tennessee travel shop, which I didn't know she had. It's a travel stop, and then will be available in stores nationwide later this year. 57 years ago today in 1969, Hee Haw premiered on CBS. The first guests were Loretta Lynn and Charlie Pride. The country music variety show would stay on CBS for 3 years and then do 17 more in syndication. How about a couple birthdays?
All right. We'll knock a couple of these out. Pretty easy. You guys will kill them. Ice Cube.
He is 57.
I'm going to say he's 60.
Bang, 57.
Ooh, good one.
Today
Well
was
done,
a good
Josh.
day.
All right, we'll hand this off to Heidi. She'll nail this. Courtney Cox.
Oh, man.
Ooh, she's 60.
61.
Heidi gets it. She's 62.
Wow.
Former Kansas.
They're all around that age.
Yeah.
Former Kansas lead singer, Carry On Wayward Son, Dust in the Wind. Apparently also played NFL quarterback later, Steve Walsh.
77.
Ooh, 75.
Bang, Heidi, 75. That's all we got today. That's good.
All right, and before we go to talk about Springfield, Illinois, I just have to mention this. You brought up Zoe Kravitz. She says her father's longest relationship is with see-through shirts.
She is kind of funny. And I think she might be right. Again, we just talked about the Presidential Library and Museum in Springfield, Missouri, Illinois. Whew, gosh. Yeah, Springfield, Illinois. It is amazing, the Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum, and it's constantly changing. And Springfield, Illinois is just an hour and 20 minutes from downtown St. Louis, but you can see so much more than that. My mom was just there and went to Lincoln's tomb, and you've got the Lincoln Memorial Garden. You've got a lake there. Then there's so many great restaurants that you got to check out. They even created a horse shoe trail. That's the dish that is just a pile of French fries and
It's a
meat.
sandwich with open face.
Open face with a gravy on top. You got to make room for that and just ignore the calories. I mean, 2026 is loaded with fun things to do in Springfield, Illinois, especially for the 100th anniversary of Route 66. All kinds of special things. And then, of course, you got the Illinois State Fair. So plan your trip to Springfield, Illinois. You can do it very easily because they kind of do it for you. They've got all kinds of different itineraries. If you want to just focus on Lincoln, they've got one for that. If you just want to focus on food and drinks, they've got one for that. You'll find it all at visitspringfieldillinois.com.
I trust Pella Windows and Doors of St. Louis with my home when it matters most. They are the local experts who know our area best. For a limited time, get 20% off Pella projects. Call 833-87-PELLA or visit Pella.com/radio to learn more. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Golf season is in full swing, and if you want to improve your game, visit Vanderpark Golf Center, Sunset Hills' beautiful driving range featuring turf pad bays, grass tees, a sand trap, chipping and medium distance targets, a putting green, and a separate chipping green. Right now, save 25% with a Vanderpark range card. 10 medium buckets for only $75. It's reloadable and never expires. And St. Louis Golf Lessons offers private, small group, and on-course lessons and clinics. Vanderpark Golf Center on West Watson Road in Sunset Hills. Call 314-842-7265. Online at sunset-hills.com/driving range.
Heard a great story about the window store the other day. Larry Thornton, the owner of the window store, 314-739-0002 or WSWindow.net, told me a story. He had a customer call him up and say that he wanted to replace his white vinyl windows with darker windows. And so, of course, Larry took care of him. So now they're all darker and sort of brown in color. Looks beautiful. They're energy efficient. There was no upselling. They're great quality windows, and Larry Thornton and the window store took care of him. That's what he does. The price is extremely reasonable, better than the national companies because there aren't the layers of middle management. The window store has been around for 38 plus years. Proud sponsor here at the Big 550 KTRS. Windows, and don't forget about doors. Doors can get really expensive real fast. That's why you want to go with a company you can trust. Installation, price, selection, quality. The window store. Window store. WSWindow.net. 314-739-0002. WSWindow.net.
6 minutes before 6 o'clock. Captain Paul, let's get one final check of traffic.
Heidi, there's an accident on 64 East at Lindbergh blocking the two left lanes with a backup to Spady. And 64 East is jammed from Clayton Road all the way to Big Bend. 64 West congested between Kings Highway and McCausland. 270 South is slow between 64 and Manchester. 70 East is jammed between Grand and Branch and between St. Louis Avenue and Tucker. That's because 44 is closed in both directions between the Musial Bridge and the Poplar Street Street Bridge due to that large sinkhole directly under 44 near the Dome. And in Illinois, 64 East is slow between 111 and 157. This traffic report is brought to you by the Quarry at Crystal Springs Golf Course. The Quarry at Crystal Springs delivers a convenient and affordable golf course that is a true test of any player's game. 4 sets of tees will allow players of all abilities to choose the course length that will best suit their enjoyment. Visit them today. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
It's lurking in your basement, over there in the corner. Or it could be mold and mildew, or even that musty smell. All signs of water entering your basement and causing damage to your most expensive investment, your home. When you suspect water damage, use the hometown waterproofing experts at Permajack of St. Louis. Permajack provides permanent solutions to all your nagging water problems. Whether it's a simple crack repair, perimeter drainage system, waterproof wall panels, exterior waterproofing, or even installing a sump pump, Permajack of St. Louis does it, and they do it right. After all, Permajack is the company St. Louis has trusted for almost 50 years. If you've noticed water in your basement, contact us for a free inspection, system design, and estimate at permajackofstlewis.com. That's permajackofstlewis.com. Permajack, foundation repair and waterproofing. Done right.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
Mom, what do you always say? There's nothing sadder than jewelry that sits in a drawer. That's why we are proud to offer jewelry repair on site at Newssetter's Fine Jewelry. We know that your jewelry is important to you, and we take that part of our job very seriously. Visit us at Doherty Ferry and Big Bend or learn more at wowdiamonds.com.
All right, let's wrap this Monday up with a couple randoms.
Wolves do not howl at the moon. They actually howl together in harmony to make it sound like there are more of them than what there actually are.
Okay.
Diabolical.
Little switcheroo.
I'm going to say it sounds dangerous and smart if you think about it. You guys, thanks for hanging out with us. I hope you learned a little something. I hope you laughed once or twice, and I hope you meet us back here tomorrow starting at 3 o'clock. Until then, see if you can put a smile on somebody's face.
Whatever gets you through the night, it's all right, it's all right. Get your money all you like, it's all right, it's all right.
Summer is officially here.
Time for outdoor activities, sporting events, seasonal festivals, everything but cooking.
Oh, I almost forgot. Father's Day.
Treat Dad to a great breakfast. The best in St. Louis, according to the Post-Dispatch. Lunch while you're out and about, or a terrific home-style dinner. Nobody is disappointed with Gingham's. And don't forget our fabulous desserts. We're open 24 hours a day, so no matter when hunger strikes, Gingham's is open and ready to serve you.
Gingham's Homestyle Restaurant in St. Charles, 636-946-0266, or ginghamsrestaurant.com.
I'm Mike Robinson with Robank Properties. I want to buy your home. Any property, any condition, and always as is. I will pay top dollar with no contingencies and no inspections. You walk away with cash. So don't waste time and money making repairs and paying real estate commissions. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. Or go to robankproperties.com. That's ROBANG properties.com.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I was throwing a party for the twins and had custom invites and a banner printed at Staples. And that's when I saw Party City is now at Staples.
Party City? No way!
Yep. So now Staples has all your printing needs and everything you need for a party.
Everything times 2.
Yeah, and now at Staples, save 40% on custom cards, photo gifts, wrapping paper, banners, and more.
Big news! Party City is now at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. In 613, exclusions apply.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Progressive knows you think the grass is always greener, like maybe you ride a motorcycle. But today, it's raining. So you wish you had an RV, but if you did, you'd have to listen to some guy parked next to you at a campsite plays acoustic guitar. Now, before you start wishing you had a boat, remember, your brother-in-law would invite himself every weekend.
Permission to come aboard, Captain?
But one thing that is greener is the money you could save when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the Big 550, KTRS St. Louis, the station you have depended on for 3 decades. We are the...
From ABC News, I'm Stephanie Officer. In California this afternoon, emergency crews are responding to a reported B-52 crash near Edwards Air Force Base. ABC's Luis Martinez on what these aircrafts, primarily constructed during the 50s and 60s, are used for.
The Edwards Air Force Base there in the Mojave Desert is a key location for both the Air Force and for NASA to test new equipment, new aircraft. And in the past, what they have used are B-52s, both NASA and the Air Force, to carry aloft new test equipment, sometimes new types of missiles, new types of aircraft. It's called a mothership.
To Los Angeles now, where Iran's national soccer team prepares to enter the World Cup stage against New Zealand today, though without a good amount of their players, forced to stay behind. ESPN's Jeff Carlisle.
Well, as of this morning, there were 13 members of the Iranian delegation who did not receive visas, and as a result, they are being forced to remain at the team's base camp in Tijuana, Mexico. Included in that group that were denied visas is the president of the Iran Football Federation, Mehdi Taj. There was a lot of tension surrounding the denial of visas, and they feel they've been put at a competitive disadvantage compared to other teams in the tournament.
A ticker tape parade set for Thursday for the New York Knicks, your new NBA champions. Mayor Zoran Mamdani says the city is taking every precaution to make sure the parade is safe and to avoid the violence that happened after games 4 and 5.
There were a select number of New Yorkers who celebrated in a way that was frankly unacceptable. It was not celebration, it was an excuse, whether it be to attack someone around them or to be violent, even towards our police officers.
Mamdani said this parade could be the largest in New York history and will be the first ticker tape parade for the Knicks, who did not get one when they last won the NBA title back in 1973. Singer Bonnie Tyler's family out with an update on her condition. They say Bonnie is no longer in a coma, but is still quite unwell and in the ICU in a Portuguese hospital. You're listening to ABC News.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
A second firefighter has died from injuries suffered while fighting a blaze and explosion at a Maine lumber mill last month. Authorities have said that fire was an accident and started at the base of a silo. An investigation is ongoing. Parts of Texas cleaning up from weekend flash floods.
Powerful storms pummeled parts of the Midwest over the weekend. Heavy rain coming down in Omaha, Nebraska. While parts of Kansas saw hail the size of golf balls. Winds up to 70 miles per hour, lashing northeast Ohio.
I mean, we're used to the high winds, obviously, but never to this extreme.
The storm's also wreaking havoc on air travel. More than 10,000 flights delayed and over 1,000 canceled Sunday. Hannah Battah, ABC News, New York.
A bipartisan group of lawmakers has sent the National Science Foundation a letter asking it to reverse course on a plan to dismantle a massive ocean monitoring network. 900 ocean sensors track circulation, ecosystems, climate change, and extreme weather, offering that data up for free to the public. Under federal law, the foundation has to notify Congress of any decommissioning plans at least 30 days in advance. Anya Taylor-Joy is Middle Earth bound.
I always found them irrelevant. Positions that never come up in actual games.
The Golden Globe winner set to star as Sauron in The Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum. That film set to be released in December 2027. I'm Stephanie Officer, ABC News.
Hot summer days and high energy bills are on the way. Upgrade your home's old leaky windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4 Get 4 free sale. Yes, half of your new beautiful energy efficient windows free. Plus no money down and no monthly payments or interest for 2 years. Call now 866-200-8670 or windownation.com. In select markets, trust our family of brands, New South Window and ArmorView. That's 866-200-8670 or windownation.com to book a consultation.
I'm David Solomon, KTRS News, and here's what's happening. A prolific Lincoln County foster mother and exotic animal collector faces 7 years in prison after pleading guilty to abandoning one of her adopted children in Texas. Authorities say 70-year-old Brenda Deutsch of Winfield sent the teenager to live with another animal collector. Deutsch entered her plea today after her attorneys and prosecutors struck a plea deal to drop child abuse charges filed last April in exchange for pleading guilty to one count of child endangerment. The teenage victim allegedly was taken to Texas weeks after an anonymous call was made to social services in November of 2024 alleging abuse. Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway is suing a seller of home cameras and baby monitors, accusing it of concealing ties with the Chinese military via its manufacturer. Hanaway is suing Lorix Corporation, which was originally owned by the Chinese manufacturer Dahua. The lawsuit filed in Jefferson County Circuit Court seeks strong remedies under the Missouri Merchandising Practices Act. This includes restitution of up to $1,000 for each Missouri consumer who was sold a Lorix camera over the past 5 years, damages exceeding $1.8 million, and injunctive relief barring continued illegal and false statements that misrepresent product security. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. Anheuser-Busch is investing $20 million into its St. Louis headquarters and other area facilities. The money will go towards brewery and packaging equipment to support production of Michelob Ultra and other fast-growing brands. The brewer will also invest in a new local technical skills training center at its Soulard headquarters, which will focus on building and enhancing skills for early career operators and technicians. Let's take a look at the closing markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. The Dow closed up 468 points at 51,671. The Nasdaq up 795 points to 26,683, and the S&P 500 up 122 points to 7,554. I'm David Solomon, KTRS News.
Attention, attention. Please make your way to the nearest radio.
It's time for the Press Box with Frank Cusimano on the Big 550 KTRS. Powered by the Control Option.
Good evening, and welcome to the Control Option Press Box on the Big 550 KTRS. Frank Cusimano with Andy Van Slyke. Good to be with you, sir. How are you?
Great, Frank. Great day. Great day in St. Louis.
Magnificent day, yes. And where are you health-wise, being able to do things athletically coming off your most recent
shoulder
yes.
replacement surgery? Yes. I'm doing okay. Would you like to arm wrestle and find out?
No.
Okay.
But the question is, will you hit a golf ball sometime in the next year?
In this year?
Yes, in 2026.
Well, if I had to go out and play golf this morning at 7 o'clock, I probably would have had to wake up at 5 just to get my body ready to play.
Wow.
So I would say I'm not ready yet.
And is this from excessive weightlifting or from playing baseball?
Yes. and you got to forget. Don't forget, I should say. I also took up golf after I got done playing and became obsessed. Absolutely out of control obsessed.
What does that mean?
Meaning I would rather spend 4 to 5 hours on the practice range than go play. I had to play golf at a high level that was acceptable to me.
Now, if I could offer you this instead, you would be 65 and you were a banker in your life and you made good money.
Okay. As much or more than the baseball player?
No.
At my...
Significantly less.
Significantly
but
less.
But a good living, and You wake
Do
up
I get the same
every
wife?
day- same wife,
Okay.
yeah, same family.
Okay.
You wake up every day with no pain at all, and you've never had a surgery, but you wouldn't have had a big league career in a golfing.
Is that a rhetorical question, or you're asking me?
You could wake up.
That's a rhetorical question, Frank.
So you would much rather have gone through the surgery.
I'd rather be in pain every day today, yes, which I am, but it's okay. Most people are when you get to be close to 70.
Yes.
That's okay. I would say mine's probably a little more spread out.
Yeah.
And a little higher, but that's okay.
I asked that.